ready? All right. Everybody's probably feeling great. Nobody stayed up till 2 in the morning playing Celasta. That'd be irresponsible. All right. Randomly determine 2 other party members. You can only save one. Who is it? Who is it and why?
Oh, well, I'm definitely going to save Eric, so.
This won't create any hard feelings.
Okay. While you ruminate on that, would anybody for a point of DM inspiration or a fact inspiration die like to sum up what happened last time on Curse of Strahd Daybreak? Going once, going twice. Just throw a d20 in the chat if you're interested. Oh, you're logging in? You want me to roll for you?
Hold on.
Oh, I guess I did roll for you.
I guess so. This bodes well.
All right, going once, going twice.
Someone can
Recap:
beat that.
sold to Darius for a 1.
God
Darius,
damn
take it away. Hey, you're keeping these out of the bad guys' hands. You're doing the morning lord's work. Yeah.
It's a sacred duty that someone's got to do it, but oh well.
You said duty.
Yeah, so last time on Curse of Strahd, we were picking up from the aftermath of our fight at the winery. There. Burying our dead. I was unfortunately buried alongside them, or at least they were about to, but I hadn't actually passed on yet. But we met Erwin's father and the other Markov adults, their father, Davian Markov, who was taken hostage from these faithless druids. It seems they wanted to take the wine and poison it and then send it back out to the land's settlement, so to cause, I guess, havoc and panic and death and destruction and all that weird stuff. I've heard of eco-terrorism, and this just seems a bit extreme. I don't even know if that's the right term, but fuck it. But he was thankful for us saving him, though it seemed to have put a sour taste in his mouth when we mentioned that Erwin and Danica were the ones who had kind of sent us. But he seemed to have swallowed that pill and just gone along with it. As I said, we were kind of burying our dead. And we rested at the winery for the next couple of days so that we could heal up before heading back. During that time, Blue showed up, and we learned that Blue is actually, well, we learned that all the Markovs are were-ravens. But Blue is also a rare raven named Muriel, and she's been essentially spying on us this whole time. That's fun. But it seems she's going to be traveling with us as we're kind of going around back to town, maybe to Jenny's. Davian did mention something that those druids had taken one of the stones from the winery. I think it's like, what's the best way to explain this? I guess it's like super fertilizer, where it just makes like the ground like super powerful, and that's why they're able to like grow all their grapes and stuff and have this beautiful winery and whatnot in this horrible place. So he suggested, that's how I'm taking it, if we ever went to Yester Hill to retrieve one of these stones, he would very much appreciate it. But at the moment we're a bit messed up, so I think we need to go back to town and kind of recuperate ourselves. We already had business up at that hill anyway, so we'll be paying it a visit. On our way back, we met this chick named Ayla. It seems she's the granddaughter of Banameva. I don't know about her. Jury's still out. But she's accompanying us for the meantime, so it is what it is. However, she did have some bad news for Irina and Ismark. Apparently, their dad's dead, and they found bite marks on his neck, so they think it was a vampire. But those vampires are under the control of Strahd, so either one of those ones went rogue, or something happened in Barovia. Ismark was getting a bit of the crazy eye. He was kind of being suspicious of people, but at least try and calm him down for right now. We just need to get to town. But before even that happened, as we were just traveling and minding our own business, we come across Matthew. Yep, Matthew, who was buried in Barovia alongside Jack, was actually walking on the road and seemed to have his eyes set on Eric. I don't know what happened between those two, but it seems like he was harboring a grudge from having passed on, and we tried to fend him off, but ultimately Eric decided that he wanted to die alongside his nephew. So he asked Anna to put an arrow in him. And she did. And now we have 2 dead bodies. Again.
All right. Good recap. Would you like DM inspiration or would you like a fact inspiration?
What's my... I'll take DM so that I'm full up.
Okay, sounds good. All right, if you're interested in answering the question, who would you save and who would you let die? Please throw a d20 into chat. Oh, dang. All right. Darius with a 19. Going once. Going twice. All right. Oh! Okay, we got a roll off here. First thing on Sunday morning. All right.
My Foundry is being insanely slow, sorry.
Oh, all right. Darius, I will randomly determine 2 other individuals, and you must decide who will live and who will die. So let's see. Ayla, Anna. Man, it's gonna be easy if it's Ayla. You don't even know her. Ayla, Anna, Darius, Tiernan. All right, so a D4 and then a D3. Oh, okay. It is actually between Tiernan and Anna.
Oh.
Yeah. You can only save one. The other will die. And for these purposes, we will say die with no chance of coming back.
No chance of coming back.
Yeah. Because Barovia a little weird about death, so.
Yeah. Sorry, Anna. It's gonna be Tiernan.
All right, and why?
Because Tiernan so far has been part of the initial group that came to this horrible, no good amusement park of death.
Fair.
And I don't know, he feels weird about how some of the things that Anna has kind of said and done. He's still not completely sure about her, at least as of now. Not knowing that he's carrying a staff that's probably going to drive his ass insane. Tiernan still has his head on straight, so.
All right, fair enough. You you may ask the same question of any NPC that you've met during your adventure. I will generate 2 new people that they must choose.
I'm gonna say Irina.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, let me roll a d5 and a d4. All right. Oh man, I feel like even though this is a meta question, her life's going to be in danger when she answers this. So the options are Anna and Ayla. Woof.
Ooh.
All right. So
It's a chick.
Irenia looks left and she looks right, and then she leans into the cameraman who works for the office that travels the planes asking players these characters, and she says, "I would not save either of them, 'cause they're very creepy."
That's not an answer. Irene, you gotta answer. You gotta answer it.
Oh man. She says, I would save Anna, very loudly in case Anna's listening. She says, I said that because I think if Anna found out I said someone besides Anna, she would come and kill me, so.
And totally not for anti-Vistani settlement.
Yeah. She quickly says, and not because I am racist. I know many people who are friends with Vistani, so it's
Yeah, she knows us.
I have to tell you, I know people who are friends with Vistani.
my father, when he was alive, he let Vistani purchase property. So I think you could say, without any doubts, I am not racist against Vistani people. And then she gets up and she leaves. All right, so there you go. All right, let's play some Curse of Strahd.
Oh, we also got one from.
Yeah, I was commenting during the prep today that even if you have no interest in watching the four of us bicker and banter and complain about Celasta while secretly loving every minute of it, man, is it a good chance to farm some factspiration? Just put it on your phone and then just live your life. You don't have to just mute it. You don't have to listen to us or anything. People are like in the last couple weeks are like, where'd all the fanspo go? We stopped playing Celasta. That's what happened. That's where all the fanspo went. So fuckers were playing for 7 hours last night. That's a lot of fanspiration you could farm 7 fucking hours. Oh my god.
The mine was drying up. It was hard times. Now that the DLCs dropped, we found gold, boys.
I mean, yeah, honestly, I was just watching the channel points just roll in. Okay. What was hurting you was Cult of the Lamb, because people were spending their channel points to help the settlement and hurt the settlement in Cult of the Lamb. The channel points weren't being saved up for Faxpo during that dark time when our Lord and Savior the Lamb was in charge. All right. Maybe I should add channel point stuff for Dragon's Dogma. Like, Princess Meatball can't use weapons for an hour. Princess Meatball has to fight the next dragon topless. I don't know. Maybe. We'll think about it. I got the titties mod installed. I feel like we gotta say, we gotta use it. All right. So, play resumes on the road. You are loading Eric and Matthew, or at least what's left of Matthew, into the cart. Matthew's body, it seems like the time between his death and now, the decomposition that was halted by whatever magic was animating his body is rapidly returning. His muscles kind of deflate, his skin tightens up, showing bone, and his eyes, having melted into that oily black viscous fluid, his face is just stained where the fluid has poured from his eyes, his nose, his mouth, and his ears.
I suppose the real question about Matthew reanimating is did he also spontaneously get another pair of jeans?
Now, I was about to answer that question for you. I was supposed to say, as we all know, Matthew has been traveling Barovia in his underwear because someone took his blue jeans when he died. So I guess you would see the oily black stains also around his butthole and wiener area where they have oozed out of those orifices as well.
Oh, that's a great description.
Yeah. Let me determine with my random underwear generator what sort of underwear he is wearing. Okay, random. The internet truly provides everything. I don't want to call anyone out, but I am getting this table from a Japanese website. All right. He is wearing black boxer briefs. So maybe you wouldn't see the stain. There you go. All right. So I don't know how much respect is paid to these individuals as you just sort of put them in the cart, but it is what it is. As you were handling Darius's body,
Right.
where he was shot. Sorry, not Darius's body. Where you were handling Eric's body, where he was shot in the back. As you go to remove the arrow, or do you leave the arrow in? I guess this is a good question for medic team. Mackenzie, Irina, other guy. What are you guys doing on the?
In triage.
Yeah. Anything, Tiernan?
I mean, yeah. Is anybody still? It's been like 3 days. Is anybody still wounded?
Oh no, I'm just asking. Like with Eric's body, do you remove
Oh,
like the arrow? Do you respectfully prepare it for
yeah.
burial?
We'll funeral director this shit. Like,
Okay, give me a medicine check as you are preparing the body.
Have advantage from probably either Irina or
Okay.
back.
Oh yeah. So as you are looking, Tiernan, you are Irina is like crying and trying to keep it together. Mackenzie is, in full professional mode, and she points out to you as you are removing the arrow from his back, that as you remove the arrow, there is blood, but the wound already looks infected. And as you sort of like pull his hoodie and his shirt aside to kind of remove his armor a little bit, you see that all of his injuries from that fight, they seem to be like, they seem to have like a smell on them, like they've already turned.
I sort of side eye over towards Anna,
Uh-huh.
and then also it's like shit. I don't. Is this some sort of curse? Is it from the? Is it from
Well,
something that was with
yeah.
Matthew? I don't know. Or was
So
it Anna?
as you examine Matthew's body, his body is rapidly decaying, but it does not have this sort of, I don't know, festering to any of his long-standing injuries or the injuries that he sustained during the fight.
Irina, any opinion on this?
She says, well, he's always has that festering wound. Maybe he's just been so sick this whole time. Maybe no one noticed. I mean, I certainly would never try to see Eric without his shirt on.
Eric was a handsome enough fella.
I mean, Tiernan, none of you are particularly nice to be around. You're all very, like, rough around the edges. But some of you have sort of a rugged handsomeness to you that makes it pretty okay. Like, this guy's an asshole, but, I mean, but look at... Eric had sort of, like, little brother vibes, you know?
Yeah, I guess I do get that.
Mm.
Either way, this infection thing is weird.
Agreed. Well, if we are going back to town, we could find that healer, that herbalist lady, see if she recognizes the injuries. But if we're going to the Jenny lady, she's supposed to know a lot about this sort of thing. Maybe she would know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we plan on bringing him back the whole way, but
Would that be bad to bring a body that might be infected or cursed back into the town? I feel like that's probably a bad move.
Probably that's probably not great. It's not
Should
like
we?
there's anywhere sentimental we could bury him either.
Yeah, well,
The only place
we
we've
could just
been is
burn him. We could just burn him. That
that's
feels
true.
like
We
the
set up
most
a
responsible thing to do.
sort of fire.
Wasn't there a cemetery in town?
Yes, but we're thinking about like disease control or curses or whatever. Like if this
Yeah,
body is
Matthew's already
decaying,
come back once, maybe.
I mean,
If
Maybe
there are
burning
wor-
is going to be our best bet.
that's because they didn't have a priest in Rogue.
Oh, that's true. We
We
could
don't
just
have
make
a
him
priest
Father
right here
Lucian.
either.
But the Father Lucian, he's a priest.
If you are worried about the body coming back, you could just bury him at the crossroads. He would be confused. Turn the body upside down. Don't know which way is up.
But that feels like how you make ghosts, you know? Do you want
It also
ghosts?
feels
Like,
sort
this
of
is how
like
you
just
get ghosts.
messing with dead people, and I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm good with that either. I think maybe just a nice, respectful cremation.
So you
Well,
would rather
there's nothing
destroy the body
respect.
than bury it.
Yeah, there's nothing respectful in Barovia about burning bodies. That is, you only do that if it is like a real bad curse or disease or something. The most respectful
There's
thing
sort
you
of
can
a
do for bodies.
trend where we're coming from, where a lot more people are wanting to be cremated when they die.
Well, you guys have your own way of doing things. You're probably influenced by movies.
Um, sure. Also, probably by the fact that graveyards don't really like to put up gravestones anymore. They just put things level with the grass so that they can mow right over it.
Why?
Sort of for laziness.
Hmm. Hmm.
Anyway, I'm down for cremating if everyone else is.
Okay, I
Sure.
guess I'll throw up a poll if anybody's opposed. And as a Barovian, this is pretty profane. Like, it's really only done if it's like highly suspected that the person is cursed or diseased.
I assume the
Besides with
Vistani
Irene,
have.
yeah.
Okay, so is there anyone opposed to burning the? All right. So you stop side of the road, start gathering up some kindling, build a pyre. The whole process will take probably about an hour. All right. Okay. Anybody say anything before you light this boy on fire?
Ayla will just say, "If I die, please send my remains back to the Vistani."
Well, yes, you're not. These two aren't from here, so we're not.
Well,
We're not following your customs. Of course, if something was to happen to you, we would follow the customs of your people. We would return you to them.
well, I have a question. What if we were like really high up on a mountain or something? Would you still need us to take you all the way back to the Vistani, or could we like drop you off somewhere?
I suppose that would be impractical if I die on top of a mountain, so
Mm.
I suppose you don't have to.
Okay. I mean, I'm not like a seer or anything. I don't think
Okay, I
you're going to die
suppose
on the mountain, but you know.
if you die on the mountain, should we just like build you a little cairn, like stack rocks around you?
Ooh, that's how the heathen natives bury their dead. I don't know.
Ah.
You might yeah, she might end up going to like heathen native god heaven instead of, wherever Vistani go.
Well, we wouldn't be able to bury you if we were just on a rocky mountain.
Mm.
I guess I would still probably take you back down.
Okay.
It is a kindness. Thank you.
All right. Does anybody say any words for Eric as they
Yeah, let me
prepare?
bust out the eulogy. Hold on a second.
Okay. And Eric, you already sent me your replacement character. I guess I gotta send that. Oh shit, I'm sorry. I should have sent the Taroka card over to Lex. Hold on.
Go for the string.
Okay. Please forgive me.
I'll just go. This one's a bit longer than Reed's.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Eric Joaquin was one of those that first found me when I awoke at Durst Manor. He was very standoffish at first, because I think he was afraid of me. But he slowly started to warm to my presence as time passed. He was rough around the edges, difficult to talk to, but he was very intelligent and cunning. He could see things none of us could. He took pictures with his camera and was going to show us Pirates of the Caribbean on his phone, until he sold it, which was sorely disappointing. Did you know that he was from New York? That's where Dana is from. He taught me about pizza and the large buildings that he lived and worked in. I would have liked to have seen it with him someday. Today, I've lost my guile. He was fated to help the land with us and change the way my fair Barovia is. He is fated no more. I vow to be a little stronger every day for him because that's what he would have wanted. I vow to be stronger for anyone who's lost someone dear to them, like we have today. Eric made me strong when he died. He asked me to be strong. It was his last ask. Today is the chance to say thank you to Eric for the way he brightened our lives, even though the Morning Lord granted you but half a life. A life in which we need to slow down. Some people live more in 20 years than others do in 80, but it's not the time that matters. It's the person. You matter to Eric. Goodbye, Eric Joaquin, my dear friend and better angel. And as she walks away, she spits on Matthew.
Damn. Okay, who lights the fire?
I will, since I'm the one that pushed hardest
Alright.
for it.
Okay. All right. So right away, the smoke begins to billow up, fire begins to catch. The damp wood takes a while to burn. Soon enough, the wood is blazing, and the clothing begins to catch fire. Eric, you open your eyes and you are surrounded by fire. Fire, bad. You know this on a primal level.
He immediately jumped out.
Okay.
Stop, drop, and roll.
All right. Medical team, you are 100% sure that this patient was dead.
I fucking shoot him. I don't.
Oh my god! All right. give me an attack roll.
Oh no! It looks like I don't have my crossbow anymore.
Oh, okay.
So I guess instead I just hold my staff towards him menacingly.
That's fine. Mackenzie will take out her gun and shoot
Yep.
him.
Wait.
Mackenzie looks over at you, Anna, and says, Anna, it was a beautiful eulogy. I am so sorry that you keep writing these things and they don't stay dead. I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Wait.
You better explain real quick, and it better make some kind of sense, she says, with the gun trained on your chest.
Are you sure you're trained medical professional?
In our world, there's like a crossover between guards and medics.
Please tell me you're not one of them.
No, he was definitely dead.
I'm alive, as you can see.
Yeah, just like Matthew.
Well, and he'll pat out the flames on his pants, shirt, his burning hand. As you can see, not like Matthew, otherwise I wouldn't have as much of a personality as I had before. Not that I had one to begin with.
Yep, it still seems like he's a conceited asshole. I think this is Eric.
Thank you.
What was
But
the
I
name of
don't
Agatha's
know
donkey?
why.
Ooh, good question. Good question, Anna.
Which one?
Only one of them was Agatha.
She only had one.
I think the fact that he doesn't now is probably a pretty good indication that it is Eric. I feel like if bad guy was trying to pretend to be Eric, they would have done their homework for something like this.
Who was the other person? Who were the other two people who came with us?
Reed and, well, wait, you mean to here or from the death house?
Death House. Who were the original people who came to Death House?
You, Mackenzie, Izzy, Tiernan, Reed, Adrian, me, Matthew, Jack, and Deanna.
Oh.
Hmm.
Until most of them died.
Izzy says that's a pretty good list. That was.
I think it's him, though I don't know why.
It also doesn't say much for your survival rate if all those people are gone.
Oh, I'm still alive.
No, not still. You were dead. What happened? What? You were dead, Eric. Your wounds were festering already.
Oh shit, are they still festering?
I
Ew.
mean, I'm assuming they removed all of your useful equipment before they burned you. Doesn't seem like they would have burned you with all your useful equipment. Does that mean you took his pants too? No, he's not wearing blue jeans. Okay. So yeah, you pull your shirt aside, your undershirt aside, and you do have, I mean, yeah, like the festering wounds that you've been dealing with. It seems like all the wounds or the injuries you sustained during that fight, they kind of have that vibe of being festering wounds. You've been living with these festering wounds for so long that, like, you know, they're uncomfortable, but you're kind of used to it, especially with your pain tolerance and everything.
Ew. Okay, I can deal with that. Maybe.
Mackenzie says, but can we deal with it? What is wrong with you? You are dead. And then she starts to doubt. She starts to doubt herself, though, and she says, "Well, I mean, you know, as much as the three of us could determine,
No,
without
he was dead. There
right,
was
yeah,
no question.
yeah, you were dead, no question." And then Irina says, "Well, I mean, sometimes people, you know, you think they're dead, and then they put
No,
them in the
look, I know
coffin."
what a coma is, and he wasn't in a coma.
And we saw a person turn to a zombie and get back up and start thrashing around.
Are you a zombie, Eric? Do you want to eat my
If
brain?
he's a zombie, he's different from the other ones. He still has his self.
I
Oh,
promise
are
to
you
eat
a
your
revenant?
brain.
Oh shit! She runs behind Izzy. She says, "I hope you feel empowered that I'm using you as a human shield, even though you're handicapped." And Izzy punches her.
Anna goes and hugs Eric.
Okay, this is a good litmus test. Anna has some brains, so let's see if he tries to eat them.
She says, I knew you were stronger than I thought you were.
It's still going to take used to you doing that.
It's gonna take
Sure.
use to you standing back up.
Yeah, about that. Is anyone hungry? I feel hungry.
That's
For brains?
For brains?
yeah.
Yes.
No, not for brains. I'm just peckish. Look, it's a joke. It's a joke. I just got shot through the throat. I'm in pain. I'm naked. Speaking of which, can I have my shit back?
Yeah, everything but the weapons for now.
I'm fine.
Darius is gonna toss you an energy bar. You can munch on that.
Oh, sweet.
What? He was shot through the throat? What does his throat look like?
The wounds that are there, where the arrow kind of passed through, you can kind of see that it's clotted over, but the clot is kind of like a yellowish, kind of pus-colored clot. I can throw some pictures in the chat.
No, we don't need
Okay.
that.
No, you're
Okay.
okay.
No.
No,
Okay.
good.
All right.
I'm having breakfast right now. Please don't.
Okay, fair. Having grits?
Ugh, no.
Grits with strawberries?
If you don't
Uh,
mind, Eric, we're gonna keep an eye on you, because as you can obviously tell, that shit ain't normal.
Nothing's been normal since we've been here.
No shit.
You know what? If it makes you feel any better, I'll keep my distance.
well, maybe we should look at him again, like another, just to see what his medicine. Yeah?
Another
Tim?
examination?
Da.
Sure. Someone, Darius. He's Mark. Let's maybe stand next to him so we can restrain him if we need to.
All right.
I'm gonna. I'll take a look
Okay.
with some help.
All right. Give me a fresh medicine check. All right. It seems that the wound that killed him has, again, clotted over enough to prevent like any sort of bleeding and things like that. But it's got to be incredibly painful. The wound and the wound sustained by Matthew are hot to the touch. Like the skin is inflamed and feels very, very hot when you, even just holding your hand above it, you can kind of feel like heat coming off of it.
You
Like,
are.
yeah, this
Feverish.
infection is bad.
They don't have antibiotics here, Eric. Even if you are still alive right now, I don't know how long you will be alive. These are very bad. This is very bad wounds. You are not healing from them well.
That's
Irenia, what sort of things do they treat wounds like this around here? Like is there some sort of anti-inflammatory plant that you won't know what that is?
No,
There
Irene
something
says,
that-
yeah, something that soothes wounds. Yes.
Yeah. Well, this particular type of wound, like different wounds will require different types of soothing. But
Mm-hmm.
is there anything like that around here? Can we go look for some?
Let me check. And she's going to roll a knowledge nature. If you're trained in it, Ayla or Anna, you can also roll since you guys are native to the area, or something that uses plants, such as like a poisoner's kit or something like that.
I do have a poisoner's kit,
Oh,
and I'm trained in it.
way to tip your hand.
You know, I've gotten pretty used to the pain. I really can't feel anything.
Being used to the pain isn't
It's
the
not
same as
good.
in infection still not killing you.
Well, I mean, I was already dying already. At this point, you just get. I mean,
Okay, you guys. Oh, well done, Ayla. You guys are looking for adder's tongue. Adder's tongue in this area can mostly be found in eastern Barovia in the valley, and it can also be found in and around the farmlands that surround Vallaki. It is an herb with one leaf that grows close to the ground, and it kind of looks like a snake's tongue a little bit. If you boil it down with some olive oil, it can be used to help treat infections. The longer you stew the ointment, the stronger it will become.
Do we recall passing by some farmlands when we left Vallaki?
Yes, Vallaki again is the town, bordering on small city, but surrounding it are all sorts of fishing communities and farmsteads and things like that. You even remember passing a quaint little windmill on your way to.
Yeah, I was
to
thinking
Vallaki.
because of the route that we took, coming from the Vistani camp, I think there was mentions of farmsteads, but I wasn't sure if there was also farmsteads leaving, heading to... Sorry. The Vistani camp of Madame Ava, when we were leaving there to Vallaki, there was farmsteads. I wasn't sure if there was farmsteads leaving from Vallaki going to Aragol's camp that we passed by in that direction.
There are. You're basically looking for non-forested areas.
Okay.
Magic the Gathering plains, as it were, is the biome you're looking for. And the most plains are in eastern Barovia, but there are some tracts of land surrounding Vallaki that would qualify. And you could always just check with the herbalist in town to see if she has any in stock. It's not a particularly rare herb.
Well, we're heading to town anyway.
You think they'll let me in looking like this?
Probably should have
Keep your cloak wrapped up around you. I don't know if you have one. Someone probably does.
Eastmark says, just wear a scarf.
That would work too.
Very
Although
well.
they might mistake you for one of us, which are also not allowed in
You're
town.
not the only people who have scarves.
No, but we are not allowed in town by your kind.
I'm not the Valakovian. You're allowed in my father's town.
Barovian in general.
What is left of it?
He narrows his eyes and he says, just don't wear a brightly colored scarf and you should be fine, Eric.
Alright, thank you, Ismark.
He grips your shoulder almost like too hard, and he says, there's too much to do to give up. I understand. And then he gives you kind of a rough shake, and he starts heading towards the wagon to get everything ready.
Well, I'm alive still.
Again.
Anna, good shot. Next time, try and aim for the heart, if possible. You know.
You before you were pretty emphatic about going with Matthew. Has that changed then?
Well, I got newfound hope, some would say. I guess in that moment of dying, I didn't really want to die. At least until I settle some business here.
Darius is just gonna look at Tiernan.
Yeah.
And just look at Eric.
Well, lads, I'm not gonna eat your brains or collect fingernails or any of that creepy shit. Maybe, who knows? And there's a bit of joy in Eric. He's more loose than he had been before. Less stress. Now then, I'm gonna go put my clothes on. You guys can go stand over there and worry all you want. So,
It's the plan.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tiernan. I think my words brought him back.
Anna, you feel very confident that this is true.
I don't think that's the case, but I don't have any other explanation either, so.
Oh yeah. Anyone seen that longbow I gave to Anna? I noticed she's
It's
not.
It's on the cart.
Oh. Wait. I'll take that then. Unless someone wants to hand me back my crossbow and rapier. Anyone?
I
Your gear's on the cart.
Alright. He'll just go to the cart, jump inside, and just start searching.
Okay.
doesn't even feel like entirely the same person, Darius. Much more carefree than Eric was.
This place changes you. I don't know for the good or for
Those
the
wounds.
better or...
He says he doesn't feel them, but wounds that are inflamed like that, infected like that, they're extraordinarily painful.
I mean, is it possible, like, I don't know, his body's...
He should be on death's door with wounds like that. And he's walking around all jovial.
I've definitely felt that. Is it possible, like, his body is do something to numb it? I don't know.
I don't know what's possible here.
Is this a private conversation or is this kind of out loud?
I guess kind
more or
of
less
private.
whispering.
Yeah, kind of private. But I mean, if you're like not that, if you're kind of close, you may be able to hear in.
Yeah, I feel like if you have any, I mean, like we're just trying to keep it private from Eric. So I feel like if you have any experience eavesdropping on people, you could probably just hear us.
Yeah, she's yeah. Crash, hearing that, would Ayla be able to kind of on the slide pull out her Taraka deck and draw a card?
Yeah, I mean, it's your Taroka deck. Yeah.
Yeah, she wants to, see if she can draw anything in regards to Eric.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It's a 9 if you need a number.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Mm-hmm. You have pulled the soldier, the 3 of swords. It represents war, sacrifice, the stamina to endure great hardships.
I'll kind of subtly show that to, I guess, to Anna if she's paying attention.
Probably not.
Also, even though a female soldier is depicted in the picture, she has the same eye scar that Eric does. Wow, that's pretty creepy, actually. Considering it was randomly generated. All right. I mean, this is on you. I mean, however you interpret your Taroka. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Her gift is nothing like Madame Ava's, so this may be a little bit of a, BSing, but she'll say, it he may seem different to you, but as you say, the land changes you. Perhaps it is changing him into something else, something stronger that can withstand the harshness of this land.
And as you finish speaking, with your last word, you hear Irenia and Eastmark mutter to themselves, "He is ancient. He is the land." Anna, you feel no such compulsion any longer, for you walk a new path, and are your own master.
That's new. Okay.
This is getting stranger by the day. Alright, let's get going.
Okay. You guys continue your journey. The intention is to go to Vallaki. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. Sounds good.
I will spend the walk hiding all of my daggers, concealing them all on my person.
Okay.
Crash, I want to do a little timey-wimey stuff when we're back at the winery. This wouldn't affect anything that's occurred since we left, because all those events have already kind of played out. I didn't get to do this because I think I was remote playing that session. But when we had left the Vistani camp, Erical's camp, Darius wanted to inform everyone of the talk that he had with the Baron at dinner or after dinner. So like all of the kind of plan that he was doing, and he wanted to include Davian in that conversation. this would have been at the winery during like the days of rest.
Wait, did you want to? Who did you want to talk to about that?
So you want to talk to the whole party to bring them up to
Uh-huh.
speed about that, and then also tell this to Davian to get his
Oh.
opinions on what's going on.
So Davian had heard of these festivals because, you know, the wine was doing really well, right, for the last, 6 months or something, however long they've been doing this. He didn't know, because he doesn't talk to his son and his son's family, because they're estranged. You may have picked up on that.
Yeah.
He didn't know that the mayor had gotten that obsessed. Do you tell him, basically, that the mayor
Yeah.
has
And
like a Scientology cult going, basically?
He drops everything that he knows
Okay,
from the
so-
conversation.
So Davian is concerned, and he definitely asks Muriel, if she will if she will go with you guys, and if time permits, check in on his son and his son's family to see what's going on, because what you are telling him he finds to be very concerning. Not that he thinks that anything the mayor's doing is going to make any sort of difference, but that it might cross the line if the Dark Lord decides he needs to come out of whatever funk he is in, and make an example out of everyone. Because Davian does confirm, and Ayla, you would know this as well. Strahd has not been seen publicly in 40 years.
Yeah, he'll also kind of impress that when they were at Aragal's camp after they delivered his daughter, he had a suspicion of what the mayor was doing, and had like an idea that it's possible, but the mayor was the wrong person to be able to pull something like that off by the way he's going about it. So Darius was kind of wondering if Davian had any inkling of if that kind of thinking is true or not.
Okay. So Davian does confirm during this timey-wimey conversation that there are two types of magic. Well, okay. He confirms that there are three types of magic. There is innate magic, the magic that exists within a creature, through its very nature, or through its bloodline, or perhaps through some sort of curse, or blessing. There is arcane magic, which is to say you have the ability to draw forth and control the energy and magic that exists in all things. When he says that, you hear some like Star Wars music play in the background. And then he says that there is divine magic, which is magic that is fueled by the belief of groups and individuals, and that belief can essentially call into being power that was not there before, unlike arcane magic, which is taking magic that is already there and making, and using it. Divine magic, frequently most people lack the power to believe in something strong enough to actually elicit a magical change, and instead, that belief draws the favor of powerful entities that are aligned with those beliefs, and then they will grant power to those individuals, and as sort of like a two-way symbiotic relationship.
Hmm.
Huh.
So I mean, I guess he's trying to call on the divine and have the belief and hope and all that stuff, but Baron didn't strike me as a religious man by any type.
And Davian would say, but did he strike you as a desperate man?
100%.
Sadly, that is often an overlap. Fear and desperation are often pathways to belief and zealotry.
I mean, I can understand why he's desperate. He said that the Dark Lord, that this place was a prison for us, and he's also a prisoner here. But it seems like what Ergol was saying was that he's looking for someone to either kill him or break him out of this prison.
Davian looks thoughtful at this, and he says, Ergol told you this.
More that that Dark Lord wants someone to, I guess, be a challenge for him or provide him entertainment or something like that.
Yes.
But
He has had many such opponents over the years, but even the strongest of them find themselves shattered on the rocks in the ravine surrounding Castle Ravenloft. More are simply forced into his service.
I think we heard of like adventuring groups that went to go bargain or demand from him for them to return, but I don't think they've been heard from.
This is true. He is generally very interested in those who come from beyond the mists. And it is rumored that the Vistani will guide people into Barovia just to be his playthings. He likes to watch what this realm does. He likes to watch it change people, break people. He likes to watch people embrace darkness, so that he himself does not feel quite so evil. At least that's my silly romantic take, I guess. He is evil, though. Never doubt it. Look around this land and know, in every shadow, in every scream, it is because of him.
So, in your thoughts, should we try and stop the Baron from doing these things so that he's not further in the crosshairs of the Dark Lord, or...
If you care about the Baron's life and his family, and you want to involve yourself, sure. Otherwise, I would give that madman a wide berth. You cannot make everyone's problems your problems. If you're looking for problems, I have plenty of my own to share.
I have my own. I want to get out of this place.
Unfortunately, only Strahd can do that for you.
Seems
If you
like
truly seek to go home, you will have to face him, one way or the other.
Noted. Thanks. And I guess he'll just look around the room at like anyone else who's because he gathered the party and he gathered Davian, and I don't know if his kids are there to listen in or whatever, but if anyone else has any opinion.
We should introduce Strahd to daytime television.
It's also a timey-wimey memory. I don't want to make a habit of going backwards. In time.
Like a lot of this other stuff has kind of just played out, but it was just like this is like the night before we left, just like
right.
that question.
Okay, so we'll say then that will be the end of your memory, and then like a great HBO drama as you are staring at weird Eric, you kind of drift back to this conversation.
Yeah.
Because the whole like embracing darkness, blah 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 blah, and then you kind of come back to yourself, and Eric is finishing putting his equipment back on, and Eastmark is leading hauling ass down the road, heading back towards Vallaki.
Yeah, watching the scene of Eric getting back up and have this place changing him has that kind of prompted that memory that we had that the very night before. So yeah, pretty fresh in the mind. That's it. Now
Okay.
everyone is caught up on what happened at the dinner.
Alrighty. So, fun times. You guys traveled for a bit before this encounter. You're gonna travel a bit more, and then we'll see what happens. See what happens. All right. It is gonna be a day and change to get back. According to my rules from last week, you make it the rest of the day and settle in to camp. All right, so camping stuff down here. I just need someone to volunteer to be on watch.
I
Kaylee
think
will do it.
Eric will do that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we can do it together.
Just don't try to bite me or anything.
Okay.
I won't.
Izzy immediately goes to Tiernan and says, "I don't think that the two people that are most suspicious should be the ones that are keeping watch on us while we're asleep.
Yeah, I think that's maybe a good idea.
I'm not trying to put you. I'm not trying to put you out, but you sort of have some seniority here. Maybe you could just say that you've got it."
Yeah, Irenia and I can take first watch.
Oh, sure. If you think you know the land better than me, I just grew up here for generations. That's fine.
You can't grow up in one place for generations. You have not lived multiple lives.
Darius, as you, as
you
Tiernan,
know.
as Tiernan suggests, his partner for the watch, Irenia, who is helping you, set up the camp, her face turns like beet red for some reason. But then they start to have this wonderful argument about not being able to live for generations. Please continue. Please continue. So. He does have you there, Ayla. You can't technically live for generations. So your people could live for generations.
Maybe I was reborn. We don't know these things. There's reincarnation and things.
I mean,
That's fair.
How about you two not take watch?
Actually, how well known is it how the whole soul cycle thing in Barovia works?
That's a great question. Everyone has their own religious beliefs, and then of course there's academics and whatnot that have studied this phenomenon a bit more.
I'm assuming as an outsider, I'd have no idea though.
Right, Vistani. If I'm remembering correctly, they do believe in reincarnation.
Okay.
Ha!
Yeah.
wait, hold on. I died.
They
Fish,
do not. They do
back.
not worship any gods. They instead pay reverence to the threads of fate.
So like a more ideology than a deity. Darius is just gonna chime in and be like, "How about you guys just? I'll take watch."
Whatever you wish to do, keep doing what you're doing. You'd only got 2 people killed so far. That's fine.
We should probably like buddy system this. Do you want a partner? Ayla seems keen on taking watch. I suppose
Ayla
you
does seem keen on taking watch. How about thanks for volunteering? You're with me.
Eastmark says, "Here's an idea. No one does any of these stupid camping activities, and we just take turns taking watch."
Shut up, Eastmark.
No, I don't think I will, Anna.
Ooh. She teleports over to him.
Okay. You have such wonderful little ghost powers.
And you have nothing. And you know
We'll
what it's
see.
like now.
All right.
Ever since Reed is gone, you've been worse than you were. Stop it.
Oh, I have something. Don't worry.
I do worry.
Maybe you should then.
Traveling with children. Everyone get some sleep. Maribel, you around?
Yeah, so she would actually be in Raven form at this point, still, because you guys have her clothes, and she's just kind of traveling and scouting. She would give you 2 cause.
Blue, can you keep watch with me? I think these people need to calm down and sleep. And he'll just
Yep.
walk off.
All right. She will fly from branch to branch following you. Eastmark, I guess, and Anna just stare at each other.
What the hell happened when I was
He
dead?
says nothing. He doesn't move.
He was
Hey.
right. You are weak.
No,
Maybe you should leave.
because a weak man would let your words move him. But I am not moved by a freakish child.
She pulls out her weapon.
Is that how you going to solve your problems?
Hold. I'll just push them apart like dogs fighting. Stop. You, big guy, come with me. Please.
Anna, if you could control that temper of yours, I'll be out of your hair as soon as we get to Vallaki.
And Ayla will engage Ismark in a conversation, basically like apologizing for being pushing buttons that she knew to push, basically.
He says to you, your people do not need to apologize. You are treated like shit. And you just give back what you are given.
That is actually quite refreshing to hear. But you do not deserve my ire. You and your family have not treated me badly, and you have suffered much recently. I am sorry.
I appreciate your words, thank you. And he heads to the edge of the camp. Irenia goes to speak with him quietly.
Tiernan,
Yes.
how much time had passed when I was, and he'll make a line over his neck?
3 days, I believe.
I was dead for
Oh.
how long?
Oh
No,
no, it
you-
was barely like
Yeah,
10 minutes.
Never mind.
Nah, it was less than an hour. It was less than an hour.
I was about to say.
almost immediate. Less than an hour.
Oh,
Mackenzie would point out long enough to be clinically dead.
For sure.
For sure.
You were definitely dead.
100% dead.
I mean, you've seen a dead person come back to life before.
Yeah, zombies or whatever Matthew was.
I mean, you've seen Anna come back to life. Wait, no, am I the only one who still knows that she was dead?
You're the only
Oh,
one alive
shit.
that saw that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we have an idea.
We know that she was like possessed.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you a little secret. Come closer. Are you close?
Yes.
You see Anna over there?
Yes.
She died. And then came back to life.
As Dana died and came back as Anna.
It's a bit more complicated than that, but yeah, that's the gist of it.
But you died and you came back as yourself again.
I mean, as much
Are
as my
you actually
skeleton-
Matthew? Are you Matthew?
No!
Did you die and come back as Matthew?
No.
That seems like something that Matthew's ghost taking over Eric's body would say. Says Izzy.
Izzy, no offense,
Uh-huh.
but how much time have you spent around with me and Matthew?
I mean...
I mean,
I don't know.
specifically, maybe not very much, but we've all been around each other.
Do I come off like Matthew? Come now.
We did talk about you every now and then.
I don't know if I should be happy or concerned, but look, I'm fine. I've come back. I'm not dead yet.
Yeah, no,
And
it's the why and the how of that part that is what worries me.
does it really matter at this point? I mean,
Yes.
yes.
With all of the unexplained things that have happened here, yes, anything else added into that makes me more and more nervous.
Okay, yeah, you're right about that. But hey, this is my third chance at life. I'd rather not waste it.
Mackenzie says third.
Second time was when my parents did what they could to keep me going, keep me alive.
Or were you like a sick kid or something?
Essentially, yeah. Wasn't meant to live as long as I did. They did something about it, and that was my second chance. Whether or not they needed to or I deserved it, not too sure on that yet, but hey, I'm back up again, so why waste it?
Okay. Tiernan, I'm gonna be honest. We can't be stressing about every single thing that goes wrong. Like, there's a lot of creepy shit going on, and I mean, we just have to keep our eyes open and I guess our minds open. It just, we don't know who to trust, but we at least know Eric can fight, and he fights with us. Same for whoever or whatever Anna is.
We haven't been in a fight since Eric came back. We don't know that yet. But
That's true.
I'll give him a chance to prove it. I'm not
She,
gonna
she
rule him
whispers
out.
to you. She whispers to you, but he looks like kind of cooler now, right? Like a little bit cooler.
He does look a little bit cooler, yeah.
Yeah.
I know that I trust you, and I trust Darius, and I trust Izzy,
It
and I
kind
trust
of,
all else.
you remember Family Matters? It kind of reminds me when Steve becomes Stefan. Do you know what I'm saying? Is that a weird thing to say?
Wait, this
No,
with an
I
earshot?
That's a
kind of
nice. That's a nice pull.
This with an earshot?
Let's see. What's your passive perception? Your passive perception of 10? Yeah, you definitely didn't hear it. You definitely didn't hear it. So,
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
and I trust Irenia, and Ismark. But
I don't know what good that's gonna do. Guy's gonna leave. And
yeah,
if he doesn't leave, I think something bad's going down between him and Anna.
I don't understand what their problem with each other is. Like they've been at each other's throats.
Well,
And,
it
and
kind of
Ismark,
feels to me,
his position is hereditary, right? Is he the
yeah.
leader of Barovia now? I feel like as much as I like him, as much as I want him around, I feel like
Izzy says, no. He's justified in leaving because, yeah, from what I understand, it is a hereditary position until the line ends, and then the community is supposed to vote for someone new. I think that's what Irina was explaining to me. But apparently it's not gender-based or birth line like order. It's the head of the household. Oh no, guys, don't panic. There's not a fight. Oh god, there's no fight.
I was like, I don't think I rolled a perception check yet.
You're safe. I swear. I didn't have looping turned on. You guys aren't in danger. Yeah. So she says the leader of any particular family can choose which of their children takes over the family It's not gender-based or birth order-based. Which I imagine is good for the parents, because you probably get a lot of butt kissing. Because it's sort of like being on The Apprentice your whole life. All right, so the camera would cut to Darius and Eric, who are on the outskirts of the camp, checking the perimeter. I'm gonna say that given the tension here tonight, not that I'm trying to side with Eastmark, but I think that it might. I don't think anybody would be able to concentrate on camp actions. I think at this point, I will assume that all of you are taking turns on watch, which is actually probably pretty good because, who knows what's going to happen. I could say personally, if I was the Isekai in this adventure, and a hot stranger showed up who's good with knives, and then a confusing magical woman was, picking fights with people, and another guy who's always been slightly off-putting is now a weird zombie. I would not be sleeping well that night, and I would not be worrying about singing you all a fucking song or cooking up some brownies. I would probably be looking out for myself and the people I care about.
Your advice is well warranted, voice in the sky.
Yeah, so I'm going to say that everyone's camp action is just going to be watching their six, essentially. So the scene cuts to the woods. Darius and Eric, you are kind of checking out the perimeter. You see occasionally the Blue Raven hopping from branch to branch, kind of keeping pace with you guys. It is obvious that she is eavesdropping.
That's fine. Knowing who she is now, Darius doesn't care as much. And then I guess he sees Eric kind of walk up.
Yo.
Okay. Oh, I should mention, there's a macro now in your macros folder called Show Actor. And if you pull it down to your hotbar and you click it while you're selecting your miniature, you will flash your art to everybody.
Forgot about adding
So,
this one.
Yeah, so to get to that, it's the little folder to the left of your Worlds of Warcraft hotbar. And there should be a macro called Show Actor. But it actually gives you essentially Shift Z powers from Roll20. But only for the token that you are selecting.
How's it going, dead man?
Nothing much. You?
Surprisingly enough, I kinda understand what you're going through.
Oh, thank God. Between you and me, everybody at camp is a bit stressed out, and it's a bit unnerving. As weird as that may be to say.
I know I haven't updated Darius's art, but yeah, he is far more scarred up, slashed up, bruised up than he is previously. Probably
Like a bunch of carnivorous plant monsters were like tearing away at your flesh.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. I gotcha.
He looks probably a lot closer to Tiernan and like injuries and stuff like that. But
oh damn.
Yeah. Yeah, like a lot of scars, not burn based, but a lot more like slashes and lacerations that have been stitched together. I'll update that art eventually. But yeah, I think I was riding on that line of death as well, but I'm pretty sure you crossed over it.
Yet somehow I got pulled right back. Not that I'm complaining.
Well, I will say it's good to have you back. Though I'm gonna be 100 with you. I'm still sus, but see.
No, you're 100% correct to feel the way you do. But nevertheless, I'm still your ally, I'm on your side, and I want to get the hell out of here, the same as you do. So,
Well, at least
Hey.
that's good to hear. So it seems
So
like. Oh, sorry.
no, keep going.
Oh no, I was just gonna add, but it seems like we're gonna have to deal with this Dark Lord one way or another if we want to leave. So there's that.
As you say that, there's that. The camera cuts over to Anna and Ayla, who I believe are in the middle of camp talking or off to the side in camp. I'm not sure.
Yeah, she'd probably talk to Anna right where she left off with Ismark. Just saying that he does still have his uses, no? I know he's kind of a Chad, but look.
Ayla, what Eastmark doesn't realize is that he doesn't matter at all. He does not speak for us. He is not fated. He is nothing.
Well, he is now the burgomaster of a village, and there's only like 3 left in the entire region.
Yes, a king of the ants.
You know, I am sometimes called a pessimist amongst my people, but you, how they say, take the cake.
Things will be better.
I'm glad you didn't say all will be well, for I've heard that once before, and it makes me sick every time.
That will change too soon, I think.
And I feel a little maybe uncomfortable asking the other girls. They don't seem to like me very much. But do you maybe have a non-colorful scarf or something I can put around my head to sneak into town?
Oh yeah, she'll go through her belongings and whatever she's picked up will hand over to Ayla that will help her fit in a little bit better.
Because my clothing clearly says Vistani clothing on it.
Yeah. So, as you guys are doing that, I guess time will kind of speed up. People sleep, I guess, fitfully a bit, or hard, and then kind of take their turns on watch. About, let's say it takes about an hour to set up camp. About 3 hours in, anyone who is interested in potentially being targeted by this event, please roll a d20. I will take the highest number.
Is it a woman in
Who wants to be
For-
targeted by this event? That's a
Let's
mouthful
find out.
right there.
Oh shit!
Oh,
never
damn.
mind.
Okay.
Hey!
Hey, you're the lucky winner.
All right, I rolled a 20, so it's gonna be something bad.
Sure.
wait, are we rolling for?
If you want to be targeted by this event, you may roll a d20.
That's the most.
I'm at 1 hit point, guys.
That's the most loaded question I've ever heard.
Okay.
I want to be safe.
Hey,
All right. So it looks like a natty 20 will do it. All right. So, yeah. Okay. I don't. Here we go. All right. Tiernan, describe what you would be doing at 9 p.m.
I think since it's a very sort of nerve-wracking sort of night, we're just over there next to Izzy, sort of talking a little bit and keeping an eye out while we settle down.
As you are, Tiernan, you hear a voice from just behind you and below you. And it says, Oi! Hey! Oi! Hey! You! Hey, you! Hey!
I'll turn
Hey!
around and look down.
I need a ride! You heading up to the mountains? You look down and you see... Oop, hold on. You see... grab the wrong one. There we go. They all chill in the same folder. Here we go. You see a little frog. It's not.
Aw.
It's not eating a person. Ignore that hand. But you know, it's the cutest evil frog I could find. Yeah. It is a bullfrog. Which honestly, if you are afraid of frogs, and a bullfrog is actually pretty scary. It's about the size of a small cat. And it looks up at you. And it says, "Huh? You go? Hey, hey,
Are we going to
Oh.
the mountain?
yeah, focus. Focus on me. Focus on my words.
Eventually, sir.
All right,
I think
eventually,
we're
sir. Oh,
planning
I like
to
that
go
attitude.
to
I like that
Vallaki
attitude.
first.
Fine. Well, I think it's Vallaki. I've heard it both ways. You plan to go to the mountains eventually?
I'm sure that we'll make it there at some point. Yes.
All right. He climbs up onto the log that you're sitting on, and he just gets cozy next to you.
So what's your name?
The name's Thought.
Thought?
Izzy says, like
Yeah, like
the,
that hoe over there.
yeah, the hoe. He says, no, I'm not a farming instrument. I'm a wizard familiar.
Who's your wizard?
His name's Xantha.
Why aren't you with him?
His brain's gone bad.
Are you allowed to just like wander off like that?
Oh, I did a ritual, extended my magical tethers, so I thought I could go and find the solution on my own. I had a book I was flying around on, but I lost it in my last combat, as it were.
What were you fighting? How'd you win?
Yeah, it was the Rock of Mount Gacchus. Big son of a bitch. He wasn't really fighting me. I just kind of flew close because I wanted to ask him if he knew, where I could find a cure from a master. But the tailwind coming off of that thing, whoa, fell out of the sky. But you know,
Understandable.
us toads can fall a long distance, take no fall damage.
So, your master is crazy? Is that
Well, that's not a very. That's not a very nice thing to
not
say.
crazy as in like, oh, he's crazy, but I mean like
Well, the way you
medically,
said it, it felt a bit derogatory.
he has gone insane.
He has lost himself in his own mind. I don't know if you're familiar with that happening to old people.
Oh, so like dementia.
Yeah, something like that.
You're looking for a cure for dementia.
Of course. Now, I heard there's this bloke called the Abbot of St. Markovia. But, it's real cold up there. So when I found out about that, I called it all off. I figured I'd just go home and do my best to take care of my master as best I could. You know, make his tea, keep the flies and the bookworms away from things, sort of thing.
But obviously that's not what you did. So what happened? What changed your mind?
Well, like I said, I lost my book, and the only cure I could find was in a cold place I didn't want to go to. It's not about personal comfort. I just would start hibernating, and then that would be the end of my quest.
Right. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So even though you're familiars, correct me if I'm wrong, they're like a magical creature of some sort, right?
Oh, well, absolutely, yep. Mm-hmm.
So even though you're a magical creature, you still succumb to the natural biological influences of the frog that you look like.
Absolutely. So, how the process it works like thusly here in the 5th Age of Magic. A spellcaster or someone of a similar incline, they desire a companion or helper. Therefore, their desires make manifest a physical form, most often an animal that they're keen on. Then, a small portion of the caster's soul, or the individual who is in some way equivalent to a caster, that small portion of their soul is broken off and infused into the creature. This process can be created artificially, and we call that a homunculi. And don't get me wrong, I know some great homunculi, but they're kind of a second-class citizen in familiar land.
Interesting. And
Familiar
you have a
land is
part
where
of
you go when you're not currently active in the world. They got great coffee. But I don't want to go to familiar land because I don't know if my master would be smart enough to summon me back. Which is to say, I don't think he even remembers he can. And I don't want to spend my whole life in a break room, you know?
and you've got part of your master's soul in you, but the master's soul isn't the part that's got dementia. It's just the body. So that's why you're still functioning, or
Well, you see, all creatures, whether they're, of all sorts, you've got your physical, you've got your mental, you've got your spiritual. The rule of threes is what
this sounds
confines,
like some
restrains, and
Brandon
defines.
Sanderson stuff.
Oh, you're a fan. My master has over 40 signed copies of his books.
We definitely need to help this man.
It's just just a small sample of the dark secrets he keeps locked away. He even has the one that Brandon wrote on a whim, on a lark, when he thought, hey, I could finish the Game of Thrones. Let me tell you, it's good. Tell you what, you help me help my master, and I'll give you that book.
That's a pretty good deal.
Mm.
Now, you were headed to this mountain to the Saint Markovia or whatever.
Well, I would, but it's too cold. But hey,
Right,
now
but
that
that's where you
we're
need
now that
our
we're
help.
buddying up, now that we're partners, I could just ride in your backpack, swaddled like a baby.
So then, where do we need to go back to after we go there? Where's your?
Oh, you got a map.
Tower, or?
You got a map on you?
Who has the map? That's a good question.
It's in the cart.
Yeah, when in doubt, it's in the cart.
Yeah, here over in the cart.
I see you got a real nice group going here. I think you folks might have a chance, huh?
The bullfrog might also see that really old book Reed found too, because it's also in the cart.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, on this map. Okay, we're about right here. The Abbey's up here. My master's up here, up in these mountains, Mount Gacus area.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
there's a flower in that area that we sort of need to look for.
Yeah, I'd say it's right about here. This isn't a great map. I hope you didn't pay too much money for it.
It's what we got.
Oh,
I think it was sort of the only one available.
not to harp on his many incredible qualities, but my master has quite a good map of the area.
All right. So good map. Brandon Sanderson's conclusion to Game of Thrones. This is sounding better and better.
So, sorry, I'm catching up because this is weird.
That's a big fella. You all have your faces messed up on purpose. Is this some kind of initiation ritual?
God, I hope not.
It doesn't seem like you've done it to the women. Is it just a man thing?
No.
So you're just all kind of ugly. Don't worry, there's more to offer the world than looks. Looks don't last.
Ain't that the truth?
It is.
So, you said you're a wizard's familiar, so like magic and stuff like that?
And stuff like that, yep.
Do you know of a shit, what was it that Dusk Elf was talking about? Like some temple of magic and stuff that's up in the mountains?
Oh yeah! That's where my master lives. The old Ember Temple.
Oh.
It's a place rife with secrets, darkness, powers beyond your wildest imaginations.
as we're just looking at this frog, do we see that his yellow exclamation mark starts turning red?
Yes. Yes. I don't know who else would be roused by this ornery frog, but is anybody roused by this ornery frog, or are they sleeping / keeping track of their own shit?
Well, how much time has passed for to sleep so far?
3 hours of sleepy time has been going by.
Eric will still be asleep.
Okay.
Ayla stays asleep.
Yeah, so the frog would say, all right, well, it's settled then. My master's pretty old. I think he could keep going a bit longer. I myself am an immortal being composed of magic. So I'll just hang out with you, I guess. What's the name there?
Tiernan here. He's Darius.
Tiernan, Darius. It's an absolute pleasure.
You seem to know a lot about a lot of
My name's
strange things
Thought.
and-
Thought.
Right, that hoe over there.
No. Like what you think about in your mind.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Mackenzie says that makes more sense. But the Brian Sanderson thing, I kind of thought maybe it was Thought. I don't know.
So, you know a lot about magic and secrets and books and such.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm a literal fountain of knowledge.
Would you be able to tell us anything about?
Well, not
about this
literally,
book
but you know,
here?
metaphysically, I suppose. What do you need to know?
Would you be able to tell us anything about this strange book here? One of our former members found it.
Mm-hmm. What's this book?
I don't know, the strange book Reed found. It's in the cart.
It's when he learned a new language, but we didn't determine what language it was yet, so the book was just written in a strange language.
Oh, okay.
It's literally just some old book in weird language.
Okay.
Could it be magic? We don't know.
So are you handing back the option of what language the book was teaching to me?
Yes, because dead. So.
Okay. Oh, he says, oh, that's a real nasty piece of work right there. That's rudimentary beginner's linguistics to speaking and reading demonic.
Interesting.
Oh, yes, it's a bunch of work is what it is. You see, there's demons, there's fiends, there's yugs, there's devils. It's all mixed up in there. There's so much you have to learn. The best thing you could do, comprehend languages. 10-minute ritual, you're good to go. You don't ever need to learn no languages.
All right. Well,
Or you get yourself a nice pair of readers like I used to have. They have comprehend languages built into them.
that would be nice.
It would. He looks wistfully towards the sky. Goddamn rock.
Well, I guess
Yeah, if you don't mind, yeah, I'm not really.
decorating my backpack now.
Oh,
You know,
Yeah,
make yourself a nice little cozy
you don't.
area.
Oh yeah, you don't mind? Okay. And he starts gathering up materials. You got a sewing kit? Gonna put a little ledge pocket in there.
We probably have Reed's tailor's kit somewhere.
Oh, who's
Yeah.
Reed? That's a nice name.
He was
used
he
to
was
be
a
with us.
friend. And
Oh, say no
now-
more. He fucking died. I got it. All right.
Yeah.
That's one way of putting it. Yeah.
Oh, did he not
I
die?
mean, no, he's accurate. It's
Oh, so he did die.
yeah.
I'm just
Okay.
saying that was pretty blunt, but sure.
Oh, he died from a blunt instrument, did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a shame. I'd never want to go out that way getting squished, having your guts pop out your butthole, or your cloaca, whatever you happen to have. Did his guts pop out his butthole?
No.
Did you check? I know you like to wear pants.
Well, he didn't have his jeans anymore, so he didn't really care about his pants.
I didn't know I'd found myself a pack of posh princes. Oh, you got blue jeans. He looks around. Well. I'm traveling with royalty.
But we're actually sure. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Tried to make myself a pair of them blue jeans once. Couldn't jump around no more. So it's in the nude for me. It's the only way to be.
Darius has no idea what to do with this conversation, so he's just gonna be like, "Well, welcome to the team thought. I'm going back to sleep."
Oh, you hear that, Tiernan? I'm part of the team now. That means I got an equal share of the treasure.
Nope.
We don't we haven't really run into too much treasure so far, but
All right, so from this point forth, one shared treasure. That seems fair. I'll provide advisement. I'll be like a consultant.
that could be useful. We don't have a lot of people that know anything about magic here.
Mm.
We did, but he died too.
Yeah, every wizard that comes here, they meet a foul end. Foul end.
We heard of a wizard that fought with the count.
Oh, yeah, I watched that on the crystal ball I did. It was quite a fight. That Mordenkainen fellow really gave it to him. Gave it to Strahd real hard.
But people seem to think he died, but then also they say that he hasn't been seen with the procession.
Oh, you just want me to spoil it for you?
I mean, I guess knowledge is power and all that.
Oh, all right. So, yeah, he got in a fight with Strahd. The militia he formed, they tried to storm the castle. They didn't know the castle was just going to be a gallery of horrors. So they all got eaten, cut down, burned, cursed. But then up in the sky, you see, that's where they had this mage duel, where they just firing magic back and forth at each other. It was very exciting. And then, well, Mordenkainen, he just, he just didn't have the oomph that he normally does, being, cut off as he were from his own realm. So, Strahd, he is ancient, he is the land, as they like to say around here. He just drew on the power of the land. He basically cheated. As long as he remains tied to the land, there's really no stopping him. And I don't think that Mordenkainen took the time to research that. Anyways, he got taken out hardcore. He fell out of the sky. Massive damage should have taken him out, but I think plot armor might have kept him alive. I watched him for a few days. Apparently suffered a real bad injury, lost kind of who he was in his head, went completely wild, just tore his clothes off, started polymorphing himself into animals, hunting, fishing, shooting lightning bolts at fish, and all sorts of craziness. Anyways, about like 5 days in, hunting party, mostly werewolves that are loyal to the Dark Lord. They came looking for him, you see, right? But he was too crafty, because he had gone primitive, right? He'd gone native, and he was just going nuts. He's just out. He just killed all these guys that came for him. It was crazy. And then one of the werewolves escaped, and he went back to Strahd, and he's going to tell Strahd what's going on with Mordenkainen. But before that could happen, a real fine Sheila comes through a portal, and I'm talking like, I'm not into humans, but there was something about this lady. She let out a real like ara laugh, you know what I'm saying? And then she beat up Mordenkainen, and then she said something like, "This is where you've been, old friend. It's time to finish our match." And then she picked him up like a little baby, and she just carried him back through the portal.
What the fuck?
So he's gone then.
Oh yeah, that'd be stupid if Mordenkainen, famous Oxmage, was in this fucking adventure. That'd be stupid.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now,
What a cheesecake offering to old school fans of the series to just throw fucking Mordenkainen into Curse of Strahd. Could you believe it? Yeah,
no, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the dumbest shit ever. Now I will tell you this. Fella forgot all his goods, all his loots. They spread out all over the lakeside. North side of the lake. Oh yeah, but you can find all kinds of treasures there.
Now that's some good information.
Eh? Well, like I said, that's why I gotta share the treasure.
I'm noticing a trend here though. Like wizard went crazy. Wizard got dementia.
Yep.
Does Strahd have some particular dislike for wizards, or
Well, you know how it is when you're a schoolyard bully. You don't want anybody coming and taking your territories. Strahd's a real Heisenberg, you might say.
I have to say you've already been very useful. Yeah, we'll definitely
Hey,
try to help you out,
he
Master.
puts a hand on your shoulder, a little sticky hand. He says, "Let this be a lesson, huh? Not every encounter is going to be a bad one."
That
And then he gives you a pat
bless.
pat on the cheek. He gives you a pat on the cheek.
Good lesson to learn. And then I wipe the frog slime off my cheek.
Now about that sewing kit, I got some changes I'd like to make to this here backpack.
Excellent. Here, right here. I'm gonna go back over to my tent, but you feel free to.
Yeah, I got it. All right. The rest of the night passes uneventfully.
It's the first time that kid's gotten used to.
See, it's a good thing that you got it.
No, Thought has it now. I'll add it to his character sheet.
Oh God.
That was amazing.
All right, so the morning comes. To the best of my knowledge, I didn't receive any secret messages, so nobody assassinated anybody else in their sleep. And,
We get that's an option?
it's D&D. It's always an option.
Damn it!
All right. Man, I don't know what it is about my Curse of Strahd games, but like the calendar really struggles. I'll get it sorted out. You guys are heading out into the world and continue your travels. It is going to be about 4 more hours or so. It's a day and a half, almost full day. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna have Tierney and Arena do their daily medicine check on me.
Okay.
Festering wound.
I can't tell if it skipped way too far ahead or it was the 25th yesterday, right? Anybody that pays attention to the clock?
We were going to arrive the day before the festivals. Was the intention?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the festival is Sunday, the 27th. So you guys, I have it right. So you guys are arriving in the afternoon on the 26th. Okay, great. That's good.
Crash.
Yeah.
Did he pass the medicine check?
He
15
did
or higher?
not. He got a big fat 9.
Advantage? Damn.
Yep.
Oh my God.
That's how D20 is gonna do you.
4 times in a row. Man.
All right. So you guys sadly did not get any random encounters today. And you arrive back at Vallaki, unless we're going somewhere else, but I thought that's where you guys were going. And do you swing by the Vistani or just head straight for the gates?
I don't think there's anything that we need from them.
All right.
Well,
Well,
has
it
no
is.
desire to see Eridol, so
Eric would want to go to the Vistani camp to see Arabelle.
Oh,
We do.
okay. All right. So you guys, all right with swinging by the Vistani camp for
Yep.
Eric, who died for you. Okay.
Don't make me sound like a saint.
Those are the actions that he brought upon himself.
Whoa. Consequences of our actions. We're playing Dungeons and Dragons here. All right, let me grab some art for this. Yeah, so you arrive. Those of you who don't want to approach the Vistani camp, you do not have to. As the decision is made to go to the Vistani camp, with the town only being an hour away, Eastmark and Irenia are going to leave the party and head to town.
Honestly, you guys should go to the town without me. It's an hour away.
Sorry, what time of day is it? Is it the morning that we get here?
It is about 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Okay. Darius would go with them,
Okay.
just so he can get his hand from Blinsky.
Okay.
Jump on that.
Split party. I like it. Okay. So, the group that goes over to the Vistani camp. Let's talk about you guys first. If you were in this scene, there we go. If you're in this scene, just pull out a mini for this. Here we go. That seems like a good way to do it. Let me move you over to the scene. Okay, so Eric, you return to see Arabelle. Since you saved Arabelle, she is very happy to see you. Let's see. She informs you that her father is traveling right now. He is out and about and not with the camp. Her other father, Luvash, is here, and he gives you a friendly smile that looks just like this character art. And he says to you, "You seem to have taken quite a liking to my girl. Should I expect some sort of marriage proposal in 10 years, eh?"
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. Hell no.
It is
Far
called
away
a,
from that.
it is called a joke.
Oh. I can't tell with you guys. Anyway, I need her abilities real
I
quick.
see. So you didn't come by just to say hello. You
I mean-
came by because you need something.
Right
Uh,
now,
he-
in this moment, yeah, I do.
He turns to the girl and he says, "Sweetheart, you do not owe this man anything. He was compensated for rescuing you." And she looks to him and she looks to you, Eric, and she says, Mr. Joaquin, I will do what I can for you. What is it that you need?
I've dealt with Matthew,
Oh,
but I need you to look at me and tell me what you see.
I see. All right. So she asked you to kind of come inside like the tent and like sit down on some furs or whatever. And she says, and Luvash stands there, keeping an eye on you because he's a good parent, and well, by Barovian standards. And she puts out her hands and she says, "Give me your hands."
Okay, he'll do
Alright.
that.
All right. As you do, she closes her eyes, but you see that beneath the lids, her eyes are glowing, and her hands start to glow a little bit, and then she screams and she pulls her hands away from you, and she crawls away from you and behind her father, and she says, "Eric, why did you do this? You changed yourself. Why would you do this? You've let the darkness take you." And Luvash shakes his head sadly, and he says, "My dear, it is only a matter of time. Outside there's only meet two fates. They die, or they embrace the darkness." And then Arabelle says, "But father, why does it have to be this way? Why is it that our master wants to see such darkness in the world?" And he looks down at her as she cries, and he says, "It is not our place to question him. Long ago, we helped him, and he helped us, and he gave us what no others would: respect and freedom. And
You
so,
say
we serve." And he turns back to you. "Yes?"
you say freedom, and I've heard before that you can walk in and out of the mist, correct?
"We have such an ability, yes."
Ayla will laugh to the side.
Can
Right,
you choose to?
he sees you at the tent entrance and says, it kind of stares you down. It says, "Is there something funny?"
You'll say freedom, only if you agree to be his lapdog.
We have great freedom under Strahd. You perhaps are too young to have traveled and seen the state of the many worlds beyond these myths.
Yes, I am. And I also choose to make my own path.
And I can already see, just by looking at you, that you have turned your back on our people. As soon as you allied against him, the mist rejects you.
Yes, because you do not control the mist. He does. He controls everything. And you do nothing to stop it.
He says, your life is never in danger here, sister. But I'm not afraid to give you a beating. Why don't you leave the tent? I'm talking to my friend Eric.
Be wary what he says, Eric. For honey is often accompanied by bees. And they sting. And she'll leave.
You're
All right.
probably the second family I've seen with such tension between them.
He says, do not mistake the word sister. She is Vistana, but she is not of my blood.
Understand?
And he says that with such deep relief, like such incredible, like, fresh spring water relief that he's able to speak that truth.
Speaking of the freedom you have, if you were to leave the mist and choose not to come back,
Mm-hmm.
what would happen?
Some do. There's no repercussions. The Dark Lord's powers do not extend beyond this realm. But this world is a pivot point. It makes travel across the multiverse very easy for us. It is the perfect place to use as a home.
Home is where you make it. True.
Home is where our wagons and our families are, yes. But this is more like a hub. In your world, you call it airport.
Ah, I understand now.
Yes. This is like Chicago International, eh? You know this place?
On my travels, yes. I guess what I'm saying is, after recent events involving your daughter, wouldn't it be best for you, her, and Erigol to just leave?
Hmm. I
No
appreciate your
danger.
concern, but we are not in any danger. You, my friend, are in danger. Arabelle says you took a deal, a gift. I have met many who have done so. It has you now, and you must ask yourself, do you truly embrace it? Do you live with it? Or do you fight it? Just as the wolves must fight their nature, soon your nature will become clear to you. You may not like what you become.
Thank you for the warning. Speaking of which, have you ever heard of the title Mother of Life?
Oh, okay. Hold on. He will do a history and an arcana. He just looks blankly at you. I've heard of Mother Night, but no Mother of Life.
Okay then. Thank you very much.
If you are curious about such things, you might seek out the scholar, someone versed in the history and the arcane.
You wouldn't happen to know where to find such people, would you?
If my husband was here, he could answer probably such questions. There's also a man in Vallaki known as Vasily von Holt. He is a well-learned man, though he is in the service of Strahd. There's also some guy who runs a bookstore. He's somewhat knowledgeable of such things. And it is rumored that the Baron's family is a bloodline of wizards. Though any who have seen the Baron would know that the bloodline must have ended.
Thank you for information. I'll
Of
put it
course.
to use. Good day, and sorry about Arabelle.
She says, I'm alright. I worry for you, Eric. Be strong. Do not forget who you are.
I'll try not to. And he will get up and walk out the tent.
Alright. So you'll be, those that went with you would be a little late returning to the rest of the party. Does anybody else have Vistani stuff? Otherwise, we'll cut to the town. All right, town it is. So as you arrive, there are guards, of course, and the gates are closed, and the guards shout "oi oi" at you and try to stop your way and explain that the town is closed.
Darius pulls out his little stitched together V that he got.
Oh,
Shows it.
and he says, "Oi, mercenaries!" And then the other one says, "Oi, I remember you. You weren't so beat up last time I saw you."
It's dangerous out there.
Oh, too right. All right, head on in. And they go ahead and open the gates for you guys. As you arrive in the city, you see that it has been decorated for tomorrow's festival. Everywhere, you see iconography of blazing suns. Yellow, orange, and red streamers are everywhere. And banners hang here and there. It seems that the Baron really thought it was good to drain some of the city's coffers for decorations for this festival. Let me change out the music, I guess.
I guess Darius would ask Ismark and Irenia what they wanted to do in town. He plans to go to Blinsky to pick up his prosthetic.
Oh, yeah. So it's real awkward. Ismark starts to walk off with his equipment or whatever. And Irenia turns to you, Darius, and anyone else who is there, and you see on her face is a tremendous amount of sorrow, regret, and almost sort of like an apologetic look. And then she says, "I'm sorry, but I think I need to go with Ismark. I need to go home and find out what happened to my father, and I need to help him figure out what to do next. I wanted to travel with you. I wanted to see all there was out there. I wanted to... Well, it doesn't matter what I wanted. Because I am the daughter of Kolion Endurovich, and I have duties that call upon me. So, I guess this is goodbye for now." And not making eye contact with Tiernan and Beckett, she quickly turns and walks after Ismark.
you leaving right now then?
She stops. Ismar keeps walking, and she says, "It's better this way. Goodbye." And she starts moving after him.
Anna looks at Tiernan and says, if you're going to say something or do something, do it now.
She's right though. This is what she should do, right?
Tyrion, you feel Izzy's hand on your arm, and then you feel another hand on your other arm. It's slimy and small. And Izzy says, "No, you're right. She stays with us. She's just gonna get killed, Tiernan." But then the other voice on your other shoulder says, "Oi, that's one sweet piece of red meat you got there. Just gonna let her walk out of your life, huh? Listen here, buddy. In Barovia, life's short. Huh? You might as well wet your willy whenever you can, love as hard as you can, and live the life of your dreams. Because it ain't long before it's gonna be a nightmare. Is she gonna be safer without you? I don't know. Was her father? Think about it. But think quick. Because like that creepy lady over there said, you're gonna lose her." And
Hey.
he gives you a gentle pat on the cheek. Squid, squid, squid.
Darius catches up to Ismark.
All right. Ismark turns his head and says, "I'm not stopping, but I will talk to you." And he just keeps walking.
Irene mentioned something about wanting to talk to Vasily. I think he lives in town. Maybe that's a good idea. Get some information as to what the fuck happened in Barovia. And then maybe you can make a decision from there. I'm not gonna stop you to go, but maybe you should have some of the information before you head out.
I don't need information that's been filtered through a servant of the Dark Lord. Going to go to the Baron. I'm going to tell him that the winery is back in business. I'm going to demand recompense for the efforts. And I'm going to bring my people here. Because you know what? Don't know what else to do with him. And with my father dead, there is no more obligation to keep the people in that failing town as the darkness creeps in to consume them. I would rather they live here where they put donkey masks on children and pee in their face than have them die slowly in the dark. Because if those are the two options I have, I guess this is the better one.
Okay. But you also live at the doorstep of Strahd.
He winces when you say that, but he says, "Everywhere is the doorstep of the Dark Lord."
Wouldn't it be good to at least know what the doorman knows?
You can give me a persuasion, but
Yeah, no,
I mean,
my charisma.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, we play with D20s, so I mean, how bad is it?
I will spend a DM inspiration to make this at advantage.
The commitment.
1 second. Perception. -4, baby.
Like I said, we play with D20s.
Mhm.
All right, he stops, and he says, "Will you go with me to speak with Vasily?"
Yeah. If you don't mind first, I'd like to go to Blinsky to at least pick up my hand. Then we can go there.
He looks over your shoulder back at the group, and he says, "All right. All right. All right. and he reaches out to give you a wrist grab, like the Faerunians do, on your remaining good side.
He'll return it.
Okay. Says, I never understood the wrist grab, but felt right this time. All right, let's go. Okay, so back in town, these three, I guess, are heading to the toy shop. What about the rest of you that are in town? Ayla is with Eric over at the Vistani. Izzy was with Tiernan. Where would Mackenzie be, Darius? Just chilling with you guys?
I mean, she could be with either us or she can be chilling with Izzy and Tiernan.
Okay.
But I thought Tiernan was deciding if he wanted to chase after the
Oh
girl.
yeah. Tiernan, while they are deterred, or not deterred, but while they're detained by Darius, do you do anything or do you just let it play out?
Fuck.
Do it.
The girl's leaving.
All right, we'll follow after.
Okay.
You can always flip a coin.
I know that this is what you should do and what you need to do, both of you. But before we just part ways abruptly, I just wanted to say how important you've been to me and to us, I suppose, since we came to this place. We came here complete strangers, but wounded and broken down, and you accepted us. You became our first native friends, and we wouldn't have made it as far as we did without you, Irene, both of you. And I'm sorry about what happened to your father, and it's important that you two follow your family responsibilities and do what you need to do, but just know that we and I will dearly miss you.
Ismark nods and he says, you're a good man, Tiernan.
I was talking to both of them, but I was looking at Irene the whole time.
And Tiernan reaches out and he sorry. Ismark reaches out to Tiernan and he kind of shoos your frog away from your shoulder so he could grip your shoulder. And he
Watch out for the slime.
And he leans in close and he says, a good enough man to have a brother's blessing. And then he says, as he leans back, from you, he says, we don't part ways just yet. Darius has convinced us to go and speak with Vasily von Holtz, trying to get a better understanding of just what happens before we make the trek back home.
I'll accompany you then.
As you go to leave or end the conversation, Tiernan, you see that there is also a frog on Irene's shoulder. It looks very similar to your frog because it is your frog. And you can see little wet handprints on her cheek that were made by a frog. And she says, Tiernan, I also wanted to say that all of you, the Walking Dead, of course, not just you, are very strong and brave, and you are maybe the coolest people that I wanted to say all the things that you said back at you. But, you know, for everyone, not just you.
Of course.
Of course. Because we're just all friends in a big group of people. There's not, like, any particular people in the group that, like, are in love with other people in the group or anything like that. Because Reed's... and Eastmark winces, and she says, well, let's go to Vasily's house then. And Tiernan, you feel a frog on your shoulder. You see that there is no frog on her shoulder, and he says, oh, that was rough. At least you're both awkward as fuck.
And then I see that she has little frog slime bits on the side of her face.
Yeah.
He's gonna reach up and you've got something and wipe it away.
Okay. Yeah, as you reach for the frog
thumb.
slime, she like closes her eyes and she like parts her lips, you know, like she saw in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, you know, like for.
But he'll reach up and put his hand on her cheek and wipe the frog slime away with his thumb.
Mm-hmm.
And then his hand will just sort of linger there for a little bit to see if she does anything.
Okay. She just seems paralyzed. There you go.
She can spend 3 hit die to get out.
Eastmark turns to Darius, and as he turns, he bumps Irenia, who stumbles forward and accidentally kisses Tiernan. And Eastmark seems to not have noticed that he bumped into his sister. And he says, Darius, there is much we need to discuss. And then he looks up, and he tries to act surprised at what has happened.
Tiernan intentionally kisses back.
Oh, dang. Okay. Wow. So with your passive perception, Darius, you believe that it was a total accident.
Oh.
Just a serendipitous bump that just happened. Yep.
My boy's not bright. All right. Well, he'll walk with Ismark.
Okay.
Heading towards Blinsky.
All right. As you're walking away, Eastmark says, "That's how you be a fucking wingman." All right. So there's like this smooch. It's a smooch that's very I guess long coming, and there are people that stop on the street to sort of gawk at the smooch. It's nothing crazy, but you know, it's Barovia, so yeah, it's one of those awkward ones where nobody wants to stop the smooch, but you're like, we do have things to do, kind of thing. We're also in the middle of the street.
Yeah, sort of pull apart breathlessly after a little bit. We should probably catch up with them, right?
The frog says, I mean, they're right there. I mean, you could just keep going if you wanted to.
I was talking to her, thought.
Well, right. I'm just letting you know that I don't think that what you were doing really constitutes inappropriate public behavior. So it's not like you reached down and grabbed her butt, or you know, she was rubbing against your leg or anything like that. She blushes and kind of steps away from you, and apparently she's been frog shamed.
Thank you, thought.
I was looking out for my buddy. All right, who's this Vasily von Holt fellow? The name sounds somewhat familiar to me.
Servant of Strahd.
All right. If you think that's the right course, let's do it. All right. So Irenia steps up next to you, and Tiernan, you feel something even lewder than a public kiss transpire. She's holding your hand publicly.
Tiernan will.
An old man across the street has a fucking heart attack.
Tiernan will grip back and then say, "Well, I guess let's go after your brother and Darius."
Oh, yes, this is a good idea. But I just want to tell you that this is going to be very awkward because I sort of had like a little girl crush on Vasily when I was growing up, and then if I'm around him and I seem like, oh, he's so hot, it's not like because it's actually hot. It's just like residual, crush stuff.
No, I think that's fine. That makes sense.
It would be like, if we were out and we both saw Kira Knightley and we were both like, oh, it's like that. It's, I wouldn't be jealous of Kira Knightley,
I'm not
She was
jealous.
She was in the Pirates of the Caribbean.
It's true, she was.
Hmm.
Pride and Prejudice too.
But Eric told me that she's actually very flat and that they had to put special dresses to make it look like she had big boobs.
No, that's true. And even then, I don't think they looked all that big. But
It's not about big boobs, Irenia with modest boobs says. Anyways, so you guys catch up with the group. Alright, so you're heading over to Vasily von Holtz's estate, essentially. Alright, when you were... Yeah?
Darius just wanted to stop by Blinsky just to grab his...
Oh,
arm,
right,
get
Blinsky's.
that-
Okay.
Get that fitted. And then...
So you swing by Blinsky's, and Blinsky's shop is actually quite busy. You see people like coming and going, and they all seem to be carrying like little brown bags, and they're all pretty excited. This is more custom than you've ever seen in his shop. As you enter, it is a crowded affair inside. You can see that all of the spooky toys are not selling. What does seem to be selling is festival poppers. And so I guess you queue up in the line for that, or...
I guess everyone else... Well, I guess he'll queue up for the line for Blinsky. Not specific... If I don't know if it's a specific line for the poppers or this a general line to get to like
there's
the
two
storefront.
employees. There's two employees here. There's a monkey and then there's Blinsky. Those are the two employees. So yeah.
Well, I don't know. The monkey could be selling the popper.
The monkey is gift wrapping the poppers.
Okay.
All right. So
He'll
you wait in
be
line.
Yep.
Yeah, you wait in line. When you get to the counter, Blinsky looks at you and recognizes you and says, "Oh, there you are. Hey, something has happened to your face."
Tell me about it.
Okay, it is very clawed up. There are some lacerations and some heavy scarring.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I have
Oh.
told you about it.
I came to get my hand.
Oh, yes, it is ready. Just a moment. And he heads to the back. And then he comes back. He says, "Here you go. Everything as we agreed upon, yes?"
He'll take a look at it.
All right. If I recall, wasn't he gonna make you? Did he like? Was he
think
gonna
it
make you
was-
like?
I think it was kind of like a claw, but with
Yeah, like a
almost
crab claw, like a scorpion claw kind of thing.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see the shiny black pseudocarapace of this nightmare fuel that is a Davy Jones-esque crab claw hand. And he says, "We must test the fitting. Everyone, please wait. This is my very good friend who's going to help me get a magic dolly. Well, I hope so. I just need a few minutes. Everyone be patient." Alright, so he's gonna fit you for the hand. Explain, the general twist and turns of the wrist and, that sort of thing. The harness goes all the way up to your bicep. And it sort of reacts to the bending of your arm, the flexing of the different muscles in your arm. It's quite an ingenious design. And you feel like, for most purposes, this might fill in for a hand. Though fine manipulation will never be achieved with this horror show of a device.
Darius would understand pretty much most of the stuff that he's talking about because he is trained in tinkerer's tools.
Right. Yeah.
So he will say like, "This will do," Maybe I'll come back and we can do some iterations and stuff to work on it. But
That would be very fun. Yes. Are you excited for the festival tomorrow?
that's why we came back.
Do you want to buy some poppers?
Sure. We'll put us
I
in a good
have it
mood.
on good authority. There's going to be some crazy stuff happening when the sun sets. They're going to light a big thing on fire. When that happens, you're going to want to pop, pop, pop all of these poppers I've made.
That actually sounds nice.
Hmm.
I think from what we had gotten from the winery, it said we had 500 worth of gems. If we split it out evenly, that's 100 a person. I think the arm, if I recall, cost 15 gold. Darius would put down 20, and I don't know how much the poppers would cost.
Oh,
as
wow.
well.
That buys a lot of poppers. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
and he'll just give those to the rest of the party for the poppers. But yeah, mostly for a little bit for the arm.
All right. So these are essentially eggshell grenade flash bombs or whatever. But they're just they're not nearly as strong as the combat version. If you've ever celebrated anything, and you've probably seen people like you pull the little string and the paper thing explodes and like stuff comes out. So yeah, for that amount of money, you get 20 of these poppers. Probably the most they could do in combat would just be to make a loud noise.
Distraction.
Yeah, distraction. But they have to be pulled, so it is kind of a two-hand thing because you certainly wouldn't want to pull the string with like your mouth or something. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Did anybody go with Darius? Are you guys waiting out in the street kind of thing for him to do his errands since it's like crowded in the shop, or?
And it would be waiting outside.
Yeah,
with
probably wait
Dick,
out.
too.
All right, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. He comes outside, arm full of poppers, hands them out to people, but also
nicely gift wrapped, which is to say wrapped in brown paper. So.
for the
All right.
festival tomorrow. And then yeah, he'll show everyone the claw arm that he has.
Mm.
All right, I'm done here. Shall we go?
Okay. So it is getting on in the day, in the afternoon. You guys, I feel like the time that Ayla and Eric spent wasn't too long, but I don't feel like it's been a whole hour yet. So you guys would still be separate from the party. As you guys head over to, the row of townhouses where allegedly Vasily von Holt lives, right? You see that you think you're at, according to people you ask on the street, the right address. Knocking on the door, there is no answer. And there do not seem to be any lights on, and the curtains and shutters are drawn on the house. A nearby child who hasn't been picked up by the orphanage, I guess. They shout at you from across the street, and they say,
Are you looking for Mr. Von Holtz?
Yeah.
Oh, he just left. He went,
and they point north.
he went that way?
Thanks, kid.
He's a real nice man. He's a real nice man. I like to hang out on this street because sometimes he'll give me some money for me and the other kids.
You know how long ago that was since he left? Was it this
Oh.
morning or?
No, like an hour ago.
All right. Darius will rifle in his pockets, and I guess he'll just give her like a gold.
Oh shit! All right. She bites it. Make sure you're not trying to scam her. And she says,
Oh, thanks, mister. May the morning lord smile upon you.
Same to you.
Alright.
You have to start walking in that direction.
Alright. So, you guys head in that general direction. It occurs to you that that general direction is towards the Washer House.
Well, I think
So-
we had plans to go visit her at some point
We will-
too, so
yeah.
that kind of works.
Okay. So is the intention to call upon the Washers?
It is.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Quite a scene. I would feel terrible if these two missed out. You guys okay with timey-wimeying these guys in?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
see-
fine.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I
I guess.
don't know. This new chick joined in not too long ago. Don't know if I trust her yet.
Listen, it is hard to live in the shadow of your former character. My buddy Stone in Odyssey Prime, he had to live in the shadow of his first character's death for a long time. So I feel for you. I feel for you. Following up the most beloved character on the whole series can't be easy. I'm just saying.
Oh,
Oh, it cuts deep.
Too soon?
Right.
Too soon?
Always too soon for Reed.
Okay. Let's see. Washer.
I assume, Ayla pulls up the scarf, makes it into town okay.
Yeah, you're with them, and they have the badges or whatever, and yeah, at this point, they're so excited and nervous about the festival. The guards are on, you know how security gets before an event. They're just,
yeah.
they're either overzealous or they're just overwhelmed, right?
Looking for obvious threats because they can't deal with the. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So these guys are just overwhelmed that you dealt with at the gates. All right. Let me put you guys here. So, as you arrive at the Washer residence, the house looks thusly, like it is tired of its own existence. Is a good way to describe it. An old estate that is sort of just bowing in on itself, possibly held together by the vines that have started to overtake it. In contrast to that, the garden is exceptionally well tended. It's actually an incredibly stark contrast how well the garden is tended versus the house itself. When you arrive, a beautiful young woman answers the door, and I would say, Anna, there's definitely that weird feeling, right, of like you are kind of looking at yourself a little bit, like of who you used to be. When this maid sort of answers the door, and she says, "Oh, but for what do we owe this pleasure? There's so many of you calling upon the house. Are you lost? Do you need directions?"
You inform. It's a lady of the house or a master of the house?
Well, Lady
Do we
Washer.
know?
Lady
Okay.
Washer is the one that's been doing public business for the house. Her husband took ill and has not made any public appearances in some time.
Could you inform Lady Fiona that Anna Barovia is here?
Anna Barovia. Okay. She's already with some company.
Vasily
made
von
the-
Holt,
Yes. How did you know?
because we were coming to speak with him, but he wasn't.
Are
in
you
his house.
expected at this meeting?
No, but there was an invitation for us to meet with her at some point.
Really? I do not recall hearing the name Anna Barovia.
The
What?
letter come from
Did you
Aragon?
hear The Walking Dead?
Oh, The Walking Dead. You're the mercenaries she's been hoping to meet with.
Yes.
Well,
her sons?
assuming I don't want to give you any hope. I may have to turn you away, but I will still try. And she closes the door.
Do we see anyone looking out like a window above or anything like that?
You do not. The curtains are closed on pretty much all the windows. All right. Some time passes, a couple minutes at least, maybe more, and the door opens, and she says, "Well, this is very unusual, but yes, they will see you. Do you have coats and boots I can take? Looking at your road-weary selves that just rolled in off the fucking mud roads of the wilds, you feel that this woman does not want your muddy boots tracking all over the house that she's in charge of.
Fair.
We can
Is
wipe
it-
ourselves off before we enter.
Yeah. Is there like I don't know? Is
Yeah,
normal
there's
to not-
there's like a mud room sort of entry hall kind of thing, like, you know, front step sort of thing. But you do see that she kind of has her hands out, like she's ready to take, you know, boots and cloaks if needed.
Anna
It-
hands hers over.
Okay.
Yeah, Ayla will take off the scarf and be pretty obviously Vistani.
Eric
Okay.
would keep everything he has on him.
Same.
Oh, okay.
Anna gives you all a look like, please don't embarrass me.
Are there like house slippers to put on or something? Or are we just gonna be walking around in our socks?
Yeah. So the woman. Do you ask the lady that?
Sure.
Okay. So the maid says, well, I understand that you are mercenaries, but I don't have any slippers that you can use.
Is there something we could instead clean our boot off on, and then
Certainly, you may scrape them upon the stones.
I will do that.
I'll
Okay.
do that as well.
All right. Oh, sorry. This was the maid, by the way. I don't know if that showed for everybody. But...
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Yeah. Once everybody has clean boots, or no boots, she will lead you into the house. All right. And you see, sitting on opposite posh leather couches next to a comfy fire, drinking wine and eating cheese and crackers, is Vasily von Holtz and Lady Fiona Wancher. I'll take you over to the scene. Now, the house is a lot nicer on the inside than on the outside. The outside, again, looks like it's just sort of given up hope. But the inside is quaint. It has some very, like, bad guys from Harry Potter vibes to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've got money, and it's family money, and there's paintings and portraits of, you know, their ancestors everywhere, and everything has like rich velvets and you know, a lot of like warm colors like here and there. But it also has sort of a creepy, spooky vibe to it, where there are just, you know, hanging on the wall, there's taxidermy, you know, insects and snakes and things like that, and just kind of weird, like if Tim Burton was asked to help with the interior design sort of process. All right.
Is the photo of the master of the house?
Oh, when you point to that, Madalena says, "Oh yes, that is the master, but he is taken ill. Our wonderful lady, she takes care of him. She's been trying to nurse him back to health. I don't suppose any of you are magical healers."
I'm not a magical healer, but I am a mundane healer.
Well, perhaps you can bring that up with the lady. I will be quiet now. Well, I will introduce you real quick. Milady, may I present the Walking Dead? There are many of them. I will bring over chairs. And she starts bringing over chairs. And I will bring more wine and refreshments. Is there anything that you is everyone okay with wine and perhaps some sandwiches?
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
All right. So after she pulls the chairs, she heads towards the kitchen and she says, "Who have it? We will need some sandwiches for company. There's like a dozen." And you hear from the kitchen, "Ooh, as the door closes. All right. Vasily von Holtz stands as you enter, but Lady Fiona does not, and he turns to all of you respectfully and gives a quarter bow.
Darius will just walk up to him and give him a handshake, as he did before.
All right. He notices your new hand, and he says, "That is impressive work. It looks like Blinsky came through for you."
He did.
How was your time on the road, my friend?
Well,
Trying.
to be blunt, and he'll just point at his face.
I see. These are dangerous lanes. Even under the watchful gaze of my master, I fear for my life when I travel. Now, have you met Lady Fiona Washer? This is a great and good personal friend of mine, and of my master.
You said that she hasn't got up from her seat or anything, right?
No, she is just sitting there, primly, sipping her wine, taking in everyone's measure.
Well, not to be rude, Darius will walk over and extend his hand for a handshake.
Oh, okay. She extends her hand that you might kiss upon it.
He gives her an eyebrow.
I don't know if Darius would figure that out, so you might just grab the extended hand with the palm aimed at your fucking mouth and just shake it like you would shake a person's hand.
Yep.
Okay. She says, "Oh, now that's quaint. You're the Walking Dead. My man Ernst has been talking about you. Apparently, you make quite an impact on everyone you meet. I've been ever eager to have a meeting with you."
Yes, well, we had some business out of town.
Of course.
We have finished that now.
You are very important people. I would only imagine that important, powerful people stay as busy as possible.
Anna just nods at her. Kind of looks at the others to sit.
Yeah. She looks at you, Anna, and she says, "I like the look of this one. You seem like a woman who knows exactly what she wants. I can respect that."
It is challenging in these times, but you are correct.
Are you all going to just stand around, or would you like to take a seat? She says, addressing those at the back.
Yeah, we'll sit down.
Eric will just stand
Okay.
right there.
I think the maid said that she was going to bring some seats, so Darius is waiting for those.
Yeah. They're kind of wherever you want to stand. You could say that a chair is there.
Okay.
Yep. They just pulled them from the dining room behind you.
Anna will introduce everyone.
Okay. All right.
Putting more emphasis on Tiernan, Darius, and Ayla, and Eric.
Got it. All right. Let's see. You know what? Mackenzie and Izzy whisper, and then they sit right next to Vasily von Holtz. All right. I have to say that a strong friendship has been forged through death and bloodshed between these two women.
They have seen much. They have seen much.
Yeah.
Izzy is blind, guys. She
I know,
can't see
I
at
know.
all.
Oh,
She's
We've been over this too many
she
times.
sees, she
you
sees
can't
with her heart.
Say that. There's different kinds of ways to see. You gotta
She
get us
sees with her
canceled.
heart.
You gotta get us canceled.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god! All right.
She sees with
So-
her mind's eye.
As you guys come in and take a seat. All right. She says, "Oh, it's fortuitous that you arrive when you do. We were just discussing tomorrow's festivities and the best way to proceed with them. What do you have to say about such frivolities?"
Time for them to end.
Oh, then you and I are of like minds, my dear. How would you end them, I might ask, you young, enterprising thing?
Well, We had left Vallaki earlier
Hmm.
in attempt to bring wine back to the city.
Hmm.
And the wine was occupied by some druids.
Ah. The faithless, I presume.
And they no longer exist there.
They're at
For-
the vineyard or they're in
At-
Barovia?
At the vineyard.
Ah, I
The
see.
issue at hand is they spent enough time there that they poisoned all of the wine.
A
So
pity.
even though the winery is liberated, there's nothing to bring to Vallaki for some time.
It'll take time to be operational again.
Hmm. That is very useful information.
But it
I had
will
And
come
the-
back.
Hmm.
I had intended to use the wine as leverage to. She looks at Dr. Von Holtz, kind of
Mhm.
very irritated that he's here.
Okay. He looks over at you. Happy to see you.
I had intended to use the wine and take credit away from the Baron that he could do nothing for this town anymore. And try to leverage some change in leadership.
She kind of sniffles a little bit, and you're not sure if it's a cocaine sniffle or a allergy sniffle or a catching a cold or I'm trying to, hide some emotional response. But she just she nods. She says, "It's not the worst plan, but he is very well established, and he has the love of most of the people, at least publicly."
He has a bully, is what I hear.
Oh, he's that and more.
Oh, sorry, has a bully, is what.
Oh, you speak of Ezek. His demonic brute. Yes. As long as he has Ezek, he will have the hearts of the people, because their hearts will be shriveled up in fear.
Well, I kind of like Ezek.
Not too bad.
We are all allowed our faults and flaws.
That-
If you like
that-
him, then you wouldn't like my plans at all.
Which are.
We will listen.
I will be blunt. I believe Ezek Strahd killed one of my sons. Quite recently.
Why is
I am
that?
still. She kind of wipes at her eyes. I am still in mourning. Why did he kill him, or why do I think he was killed?
Both, I guess.
Well, I think he was killed because he's my son, and I believe the Baron views me in a negative light, as a rival of sorts, which is adorable, since I am, of course, his superior in every way. As for the means, my son was found badly bludgeoned to death. I could only imagine that a fist as large and powerful as Ezek's would have done the job.
You said recently. How recently was this?
It was about 4 days ago, I believe. The day is the day after you guys left is when she discovered that he had been killed. He was out late, carousing, I have no doubt. While my boys do get into trouble, apparently
oh my God.
Is something wrong, Anna?
No,
She looks-
no, madam. Everything is all right.
Well, if you know something, I'd love to hear whatever information I can pay if you can provide.
I'm so
information.
sorry your son has been murdered.
Yes, am
I was
I.
shocked at that.
Your sympathies are appreciated, young lady. As I was saying, He was out carousing. He has a thing for Vistani women. And she kind of side-eyes Ayla. Sometimes he and his brother will sneak out of the camp. I imagine that they got caught returning. My surviving son tells me that someone shouted at them from the shadows, and they both fled. But his brother didn't meet back with him. In fact, the next time he saw him, he was dead.
I am sorry for your loss.
As am I. If it had happened on the outskirts of the city, I would have known for sure it was the Vistani. Which is strange, because we both are equally aligned towards certain allies, but they are a violent bunch. And my son is easy to provoke people. Or was, I should say. Ayla, you're not part of that
Aragorn's camp, yeah.
Yeah, Aragorn's camp. But the reputation of the Washer Boys is well known to beautiful young women. They are college frat boy before the Me Too movement bad. Like they're very bad dudes. Especially to beautiful young ladies.
The reputation of your boys is very well known, of course.
They do get rowdy from time to time, but what do handsome, powerful men do but get rowdy when there's not a war to be fought or a monster to slay? Just boredom was keeping them in their state.
I suppose status has its privileges.
Of course.
Ayla just seems very trying to keep it all contained.
Now, blood demands blood. I don't have enough proof to levy against the captain of the guards and the adopted son of the settlement's leader, but I have enough to act on it in the old ways, invoking the true laws of the land.
Which
And
are...
further, without that beast to back him, those who have lived in fear of Strahd and the Baron's wrath will have just one less thing to fear. And perhaps coming out of the shadow of fear, they can finally speak their truth and act upon it. And Vasily says, looks at her as if asking permission, as she nods, and he says, the lady and I were discussing, if I knew anyone discreet and powerful enough to perhaps eliminate his Strahd. He has a long history of violence, murder, and abuse of power. He certainly is not a good man who would not be missed. Ayla, they both have a book club.
yeah.
Fiona's book club, as the Baron's wife pointed out, was started after hers, not before. And when a word on the street is they like to LARP at Lady Fiona.
They like to wear masks and hoods and stuff.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So Vasily says, I of course thought of you, but I know that you are very busy. Your hands are always full.
May we think on it?
Your time is your own. Lady Fiona says, security will be high for the event, so I imagine this isn't the best time to act. But in the excitement and forced revelry, perhaps an opportunity will present itself. An opportunity worth perhaps 1,500 gold?
It should at least give us a chance to learn more about what's happening with them, and maybe an area where afterwards we'd be able to accomplish this goal.
Of course. I have heard that you are servants of the Baron. And she sort of gestures with her wine glass at your shoulder patches, or wherever you happen to have the little V's attached to your equipment. At that point, the maid returns with the sandwiches, and she places sandwiches and more glasses of more wine, and she says, "I'm sorry it took so long. Wallet is in quite a mood." And then she hustles out of the room.
Only so we can get access to enter and leave town. If you're asking if we are his property or his dogs, we're not.
Of course. I would never imply such a thing. It sounds like you have it all figured out.
Not all figured out.
Well, perhaps I could help you. I'm looking for anything to keep my mind off of my dearly departed son.
Sorry, but not to change topics on you. And he'll look towards Vasily. We're on our way back, and we heard that something has happened to the burgomaster at Barovia. Care to elaborate?
I am flattered that you would assume I had all the information, but I have heard from passing travelers that, yes, I have heard. And he stands again with his good posture, and he looks at Irenia and Ismark and says, "I did not know if you had heard yet, and I did not want our first words being of such sad things. But, yes, your father was found dead, drained of blood. They believe it was a vampire. There is rumors, whispers in the community that the vampire had been feeding upon the populace. Your father was trying his best to track down the creature and stop it, but I suppose in the end well, I'm very sorry. He was the most honorable man I had ever met, and I can see his good works in both of you. And at least this land has the blessing that you are both still with us to carry on his legacy." Irenia squeezes your hand tight, Tiernan. And she kind of nods. Tiernan, with your very good perception, you can see that when she squeezes your hand, Vasily notices that she is squeezing your hand, and for just a moment, he looks very upset.
Interesting. Because we previously sort of explored that, and he had said he wasn't interested, right?
Yeah.
Like the previous time that we met them.
Irenia says, "Thank you for your kind words. My brother and I, we plan to return home and pick up my father's burden and try to find a solution. And Vasily looks to her, and he looks at her like she's the only person in the whole room. And he says, "My dear, I do not have much, but I would gladly go into my own coffers to fund your return home. It is dangerous, just the two of you traveling on the roads, unless, of course, the Walking Dead would travel with you." And he looks at all of you.
My question is, rumors have it the Dark Lord is a vampire, and those things serve him. If we kill the one that killed their father, would there be retribution from him?
I see. You think that the vampire that did this is in the service of Strahd von Zarovich? And as he asked that question, Lady Fiona lets out a light chuckle as she drinks some more of her wine.
I mean, I don't know. I'm an outsider here. I don't know how these things work.
Well, I have not met with or seen my master since this event occurred, but I don't think that he would authorize the killing of one of his best and most loyal servants.
And yet it happened.
And yet, it happens. Terrible things happen all the time. We pray to the Morning Lord for salvation and mercy, and yet here we are suffering. Sometimes man and woman must find their own way in the world.
If this master you serve is so benevolent and powerful, then why does he do nothing?
And
If this vampire is still on the loose, then
to answer the earlier question, if a vampire killed your father and you seek revenge against this vampire, that is a great question. I don't know if it is a vampire in the service of Strahd, then it really is up to Strahd to punish. Would you two want to meet with Strahd von Zarovich? I can send communications to the castle and try to
Yes.
arrange a meeting.
I've been told that Strahd hasn't been seen in 40 years. He would agree to meet with a random upcoming party of adventurers.
Lady Fiona lets out another and she says, he hasn't been seen by the rabble. He hasn't been seen by those undeserving. But he makes himself known to those worthy enough.
Well, right, but we're literal nobodies. We just showed up here
Come now.
recently.
I don't think you believe that anymore, do you?
You are someone, Tiernan.
the mice might dine with the cat, but it is a different meal from both sides.
She looks at you and she says, "Oh, yes, you would get along wonderfully with my daughter, I think."
As forthcoming as it is for this invitation, we do have pressing matters currently we must deal with. This meeting will have to wait with this Dark Lord.
Vasily says, truly, he looks to Eastmark and Irene. He says, "Does this man speak for you now?" He looks to you, Anna, and he looks right into the fucking windows of your soul, Anna. Vasily von Holtz looks right into the fucking windows of your fucking soul, and he says, "Does this man speak for you?"
Eric, I don't think this is an invitation that we can decline. We accept.
Oh. Vasily says, how very interesting. All right.
This
I
is
will
also
send her-
something that we need to discuss, not just say out loud. And he looks straight at Anna.
So
How-
put the meeting on hold, or at the very least, let us come to a decision before that.
Eastmark says, your invitation, or your offer of invitation is very kind. And should the Walking Dead want to take you up on it, that is good for them. I do not seek vengeance this time. I seek only to take care of my father's people. I would gladly take whatever assistance you're willing to offer, Mr. Von Holtz. As you say, the roads are dangerous. And, if you have coin to secure some guides and mercenaries to help me, I would greatly appreciate it. If the Walking Dead seeks vengeance for my father, then they, as always, have my love and my respect. And my gratitude should they succeed. He looks to you, Anna, and he says, they know who they follow. So just know that perhaps this meeting that you propose is long overdue.
Silly, how long would it take for you to set up this meeting?
Vasily says, oh, I don't believe it could happen until after the festival, for sure. Just stay in town a few days. I will get back to you as soon as I hear back from the castle.
That was the plan. We'll talk about
And
it
then,
this evening.
Lady Fiona Washer is watching this exchange with great interest, and she says, truly, you are very special. Now, I hope you're starting to understand that. To receive such an offer from Mr. Von Holt, I assume he would not make such an offer if he didn't think you worthy of the Dark Lord's attention.
According to Ergol, we already have it.
Perhaps you do. Perhaps you always have.
Well, then we will keep giving him something to watch.
Well, what a fine afternoon. I hope you're enjoying your cucumber sandwiches. I have to ask, on the topic of small talk, are any of you skilled healers with regards to the mind?
Yeah, your maid mentioned something. I'm a healer, but I haven't done very much. Is there some sort of mental issue?
There is, and it would require the utmost discretion. I would not want the details of the situation to reach the public, and if they did, I would know why.
Of course, that's just doctor-patient confidentiality.
What is that? That sounds like a wonderful policy.
Well, it's in where we're from. It's illegal for doctors to share the specifics of what they do with a patient. With the general public.
She looks to Vasily, and he looks impressed. She says, "How fascinating, sir. I would like to impose on you several different ways. One, if you could take a look at my ailing family member. 2, if I could just chat with you a while about this world you come from. It sounds like they have some powerful legislative ideas.
We could do both of those things, of course.
I see. And perhaps we could speak of your other talent, she says, looking at your big fat bullfrog hanging on your shoulder.
Yes. Of course.
Okay. You can give me an insight check. Alright, you realize that she is not a bullfrog enthusiast. She thinks that you are a wizard.
Yep.
Okay. Just confirming that. Alright.
You're a wizard, Tyrion.
Alright, so, she says, well, no time like the present then. If you have nothing else from me, I would take this young man upstairs that he might assist me with my ailing family. Vasily, you may continue to use the sitting room if you would like for further discussion. It's been a pleasure, The Walking Dead.
Ma'am.
I do hope we are able to resolve your situation before something happens to your other son.
She stops as she's walking out of the room, and she says, it's like that then. And then she walks out of the room.
Leans over to Anna. What? Did I say something?
Alright, Tyrion, do you follow her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take backup.
You could take probably one person and claim it's your assistant.
I will take Irenia then.
Okay. Alright. I know we're at time. Do you guys want to see this scene before we adjourn, or do we need...
I have to be somewhere. So.
Alright. So we will leave off with you getting ready to head upstairs, and the rest of you sitting in this room with Vasily von Holtz, and a lot of things hanging in the air and laying out on the table before you.
So many fucking things.
Yeah. My classic group has called Vallaki the city of indecision. They hate going to Vallaki because they're like, well, there goes at least one session or two as we sit there feeling horrible because we don't know what to do next because there's too many things to do. Yes.
I think we're knocking on our list because we were chatting and we wanted to visit Vasily and Fiona Watcher, so I think those two have at least been accomplished.
Yeah, bam, 2 for 1.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's a shame about what happened to that poor washer boy. He's a rowdy sort, but he's a good boy, you know.
I get the feeling that carousal table was really cool.
Oh, have you tried the carousal table, Darius?
I think I rolled on it.
Really?
I know I did it in the Vistani camp, but I can't remember which one.
The Vistani camp right next to Vallaki. That Vistani camp.
Oh, that's right.
Right, and then you woke up,
and I had a
bag of money
that had blood on it.
Blood all over it. And, I don't know. That's weird.
What a coincidence.
That is really weird. And then, while you were getting so blackout drunk and then waking up with a bunch of money at the Vistani camp, a guy that preys on Vistani women was found bludgeoned to death, but inside the town. So obviously, couldn't have been you. Yeah, okay.
Couldn't have been me. I was all the way outside of town.
Absolutely.
Man, but who goes around carrying 400 gold on them like that?
Yeah, it's almost like a whole bunch of people would have had to pool their money to pay for some sort of service to be performed. Weird. Oh well.
Oh well, it paid for silver weapons, so as a player, I don't feel no shame.
All right, so quick announcements. Tonight we're playing some Star Wars. So that should be pretty fun. Tomorrow might be the last game ever of Odyssey Prime. Maybe. I've been accused of saying this for the last several months, but what I said was, we're in the end game now. I never actually said any session could be the last session. This is officially, the statement is, literally any session, any Monday could be the last Monday of this campaign. That's how up in the air shit is right now. Tuesday, Abomination Vaults resumes. Cyberpunk Red continues. Wednesday, modded Dragon's Dogma. Very excited about that. I don't want to have encumbrance anymore, damn it, I'm not going to.
Hey, no more tornado.
And no more tornado. That's right. Yeah, even though someone was kind enough to levy his level 84 character to carry my ass through the game, I still found some way to complain about it. So there you go. But apparently, she went back to Hogwarts, and everything's gonna be a-okay now. Yeah. So Thursday, Curse of Strahd Nightfall continues. They are radically different scenario right now than you guys are in. I am loving the divergence of the paths that are being taken in this story. Friday we might do another vodcast. Friday night we all hung out and we talked about what did we talk about? It was good. Oh yeah, the value of these Pathfinder and Foundry VTT, which is absolutely bananas. And then Saturday morning we got Red Hand of Doom. They're in what I like to call the final six, meaning the game could end any given time. Unlikely that they will have more than 6 sessions remaining in the whole campaign. So that's going to move, I think, very quickly and very definitively. So that's pretty exciting. And then Sunday morning we'll be back here. Does anybody have any announcements before we adjourn?
Not an announcement, but I'm curious. Is this like the Saltmarsh games and how those went radically different? With us and Nightfall?
I wouldn't say that you guys have diverged so much that it's like, yeah, it's not like Sun and Moon Saltmarsh or whatever, but it's
still noticeable.
It's still noticeable, yeah. There's a lot of differences between the groups, but it's not. They started different, right? Like one of them was they got hired as local mercenaries from a tavern, and then the other was they escaped from a prison ship as it was attacked by a kraken. So they, from the get-go, they had very different paths that they were taking. You guys all started, you both started identically, and now it's interesting to see where you go from there. So. All right. Any other announcements before we adjourn? All right. Hope everybody enjoys the rest of their Sunday. If you've got tomorrow off, enjoy the holiday, and I'll see you guys around the Discord.
Thanks for running.
Yeah.
And thanks everyone for tuning in. Catch you next time.